fuck up. What? All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Big shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming back to watch this, even though you missed the live party. Guys, that is the best part, so make sure you are here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it, so hit that subscribe, ring the bell, and you will never miss an Indian Jesus live party ever again. If you'd like to support the channel, head on over to TheIndianJesus.com for your very own official merch. Only at TheIndianJesus.com. Guys, we do also have a Discord server. It is a giant group chat that is open 24/7. We are in there hanging out, having a good time. It is a great place to meet people and have interesting conversations. Like I said, it's absolutely free. However, if you are a member of this channel here on YouTube, you can scroll right below the video here, hit that join button. There's a few different tiers. Starts at just $2.99 a month, gets you members-only live streams here on YouTube, all that other good stuff, but it opens up the full Discord server, guys. That includes the After Party channel. Oh, we got Morty in the building. That includes every channel, including the After Party. So as soon as we are done here, we are headed over there, and we don't have to worry about any YouTube censors or anything, and you guys are not stuck behind your keyboard. You're actually on screen with me and everybody else. It is a good time. Definitely come and join us. Shout out to Nick Lucchetti in the building. We got our boy King Nirvana. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. Welcome to the party. Indeed, I finagled some things, guys. Check out the swole goal. Check out the swole goal. It is gonna be fun. So welcome to the party, guys. You know what it is. We started this last stream on Wednesday, and it was pretty interesting. You know, this lady Vanessa, what's her name? I missed her name. Vanessa Van Edwards was talking on Diary of a CEO podcast about body language, and she was kind of getting into the more generic aspects of it. But thankfully, you guys want to come back to this, because now we're going to get more into some of the specifics. So if you did not see the first part, that is totally fine. You're not going to be missing anything. It was good stuff, but there's much more here. So as always, guys, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
We're talking about gestures, but there is a feedback loop here. That the more, like, if I were going to sit on my hands for this interview, you would notice my facial expression would get less charismatic. My vocal tone would be less charismatic. It's really hard to be charismatic without movement. Vocal variety is a critical aspect of both warmth and competence. Mm-hmm. That is because when we hear someone who's able to, for example, give us the TED Talk voice. So I'm gonna give you the TED Talk voice. You ready? Mm-hmm. This point is going to change the way that we think about the world. And if we don't analyze this point, we will be in huge trouble. Like, that is a voice that is telling you, ooh, this is important.
And we are backing up a little bit, but just to make sure we cover everything. Hey, shout out to Nick Lucchetti. I want to see you do push-ups for yourself one of these days, brother. One of these days. But until then, it's only for you guys. And of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty. Thank you, sir. And that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Remember, Box said he was gonna give me $50. Hey, I'm not one to say that somebody's not a man of their word, but put one in the chat if you think Box is gonna come through with it.
We will be in huge trouble. Like, that is a voice that is telling you, ooh, this is important. You also hear that really good speakers will use like a numbers voice. So a numbers voice sounds like this. Did you know that 43% of humans all believe in the same thing? 43%. Like, and then if you're telling a story, it changes again. So a story tone would go like this. You're never going to believe what happened to me. So last week, I'm walking down the street and I saw this guy. It's a totally different vocal variety. That is a gift to your listener.
That's a really common, or I guess uncommon. That's a common thing for me to use when I'm doing my dog training. For those of you who know, my full-time job, I'm a dog trainer. And so a lot of times, the tone that you use with a dog is going to be is going to change very much how they respond to it. And, especially if you have a strong-willed dog. And if you say, Fido, sit, that's going to be a very different thing. Fido, sit. And especially even with that tone versus not, hitting the T. And Fido sit versus Fido sit. You know, these all work very differently. And so the same thing is going to work for people as well. Shout out to Arrow. Welcome to the party. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome.
This guy. It's a totally different vocal variety. That is a gift to your listener. That makes you more engaging because they're able to clock. Oh, we're doing a number now. Oh, we have a story now. Oh, this is an important point. I better write it down. Really good TED speakers are outlining their talk for you in many different ways. And that's the best speakers I see on stage.
Or what about, all the greats? They use a radio voice.
It's so interesting because in this podcast, we had quite a long conversation a couple of months ago about arms on the chair that you're in now. And it was just this observation we had when we first flew out here to New York. The chairs that we ordered were pretty similar to this, but they just happened to have arms on them. And what I noticed was that guests would lean and it would take out their arms.
Shout out to Nick. Thank you, sir.
So it took out their arms and they became less expressive and the conversations were less interesting.
Yes.
So we removed the arms again.
Okay, so let's talk about this just very briefly.
Yeah.
Al said, I trained my dogs with whistles and hand signals. Gave them short names too. Short names is a good one. But the only, people will talk about like the clickers or the whistles, and well, then you always gotta find your whistle and stuff. So I like the, to be able to just use hands and voices. But yeah, whatever works.
I actually do recommend chairs with arms, not in this setup, because look at the difference. So actually, right before this interview, you asked me to scoot my chair in, right? Your amazing team asked me to scoot my chair in. Thank you for that, because it makes it so that I want to put my hands up. If I were to be sitting farther back, I'm just going to lean back for a second, I
still wish they would fix the head gap.
I'd be tempted to put my hands in my lap.
Yes.
So the critical piece of this is you're having me scoot up to the table. It would be really hard if I had arms, because then I would want to go like this. And it would make me look like a duck.
Yes.
That reminds me of that scene in Bridesmaids. Oh, God.
Right, God. So you want to use a chair with arms to be broader. It actually does broaden your arms out, unless you're really close to the table and you can put your hands on the table. But it's amazing how the physical environment can change how we are perceived and how we move.
But even we're very intentional about the sort of mirroring of our body language and just making sure that we're head on, because this conversation is entirely different if we're side on.
Very much.
It's not going to be the same.
Very much.
And there's not going to be the same level of intimacy.
Yes.
We also thought a lot about how big the table was. This is quite a big table.
Okay, there you go. That counts. That's when you said whistles, I thought of like whistles. Shout out to Nikki. Welcome to the party. Yeah, see, when you if you look at the difference between how much room is above, well, even my head as well, but above her head versus where the camera is above his head, it's off-putting. But sorry, I didn't mean to throw that on you. But welcome to the party.
It's not going to be the same level.
See, look how nicely he's framed. Not on just this little head gap
of intimacy. But we also thought a lot about how big the table was. This is quite a big table.
What's the distance?
See, like, what are we doing here?
I'm going to say it's about just shy of 2 meters.
Wait, can you hold your arm out?
It's not like we're almost the same height where you would have thought that maybe they're the same height, so we don't need to adjust it. Yeah, obviously he's taller. I'm not stupid. You can adjust where a camera is. If I was taller, then the camera wouldn't be good here, because then I would be like that. But I'm not taller, so you adjust the camera. Stupid.
Big table.
What's the distance?
I'm going to say it's about just shy of 2 meters.
Wait, can you hold your arm out? Okay, so this is perfect distance. The perfect distance between two people having a good conversation is that we could shake hands if we wanted to. Okay. And that is because there are
reaching out, touching you.
4 different proxemic zones. So the fancy word for space is proxemics. I don't know if you have that beautiful graphic.
I printed out this.
Oh, yes, that's it. Yes. So there are 4 different space zones, and these are really good to know if you're trying to set yourself
right
up for
about
success.
Where we left off.
The public zone is about.
So if you didn't see part 1, don't worry about it. There's some good information. I definitely think you should check it out. But nothing that she's going to talk about is directly relevant. And if it is, then I'll remind you.
5 to 8 feet away. I don't know, not feet, but 5.
Yeah, so we're talking about this
8 feet away. Then you have the social zone, which is where we like to socialize with people. That is, depending on who you ask, 3 to 5 feet away. Then there's the personal zone. That's our favorite zone.
Why wouldn't you keep it up while you're talking? So the intimate zone, the personal zone, and the social zone.
That is, depending on who you ask, 3 to 5 feet away. Then there's the
Exactly. That's why it's intimate, because there's somebody's stinky breath. It's like, oh, I love your morning breath. But everybody else is like, no.
Personal zone. That's our favorite zone. That is about arm's distance apart, right? So we could shake hands if we wanted to. That's where our best conversations happen. And then there's the intimate zone. A big mistake people make is they place their video camera too close to their face, which means they're accidentally signaling intimacy cues with their colleagues and their coworkers. Have you ever been on a Zoom with someone where their face is the entire camera?
Yeah, I was on one earlier on.
And you're like, please back up. And that is because your brain is going too close, even though they're across the camera. So what I would really recommend, measure the distance between your nose and your camera. It should be 1 arm length. So it should be the tip of your nose to the tip of your fingers.
All right, let's see. All right, so it's a little, that would be here. So, I mean, like, I lean forward a lot, but I mean, that's, pretty good, pretty decent. All right, not bad.
Or 1.5 to 3 feet away. That is the ideal zone for having good conversation.
Wait, 1.5 to 3 feet? That's a pretty big range. If we're talking about
over Zoom.
That's really interesting as well, because I was thinking about the conversation I had actually.
Sorry, guys. I'm a little out of sorts. I need you guys to pull me together. I was this close to being like, I didn't sleep enough. I'm not doing the stream, but I had to come through for you guys. So help, you got to help pull me together. I'm a little bit in the clouds. It is, right? It is, right? Okay, there we go. Because if you're saying it should be from your from your shoulder to your or your nose to your camera, it should be about that far, arm's length. Then your arm's not going to be a foot difference. What are we talking about? Because that feels right to me. Gotcha. Thank you, buddy.
It is the ideal zone for having good conversation over Zoom.
That's really interesting as well, because I was thinking about the conversation I had actually on the way here in the car with a colleague of mine, and they had called me on FaceTime.
Either one.
Now, the thing with FaceTime is it's going to be close.
It's going to be close.
And it did feel a little bit intimate.
It does.
Because they called me on FaceTime.
Yes.
Obviously, if I was on my laptop, they would call me on Zoom or something else, and there would be a meter.
Yeah. So I think that's why.
See, now I'm nervous about it. Now that feels better because now there is a little bit of a gap. Now, before I was like right there, just give it a little. Okay, that feels better. That feels better. But it's interesting because a lot of times, if you don't, if you don't run a show, if you've never been on a show like that, you might not even think about stuff like that. But there's a whole world of stuff like that going on. Anyway,
on my laptop, they would call me on Zoom or something else, and there would be a meter.
Yeah. So I think that's why we can sometimes, at least introverts, feel like don't FaceTime me. It's way too personal. It's because there's a setup there that it's actually accidentally tricking you into being in the intimate zone with someone.
Oh yeah, put a 1 in the chat if you will not answer a call from somebody. Well, okay, There's exceptions, but. Generally, put a 1 in the chat if you will not answer a call if somebody didn't let you know they're going to call first, whether a text or something, or you're expecting it. I am one of those people. There's a few exceptions, but if you don't just call me out of the blue. It's 2024, all right? Send me a text, send me an email, send me a message on this, that, or the other, but don't just call me randomly. That's going to make me think somebody died. That's going to make me think somebody died. What do you just call me out of the blue for? Aaron said, I like some of the CEO's guests, but he's very contemporary. What do you mean by that? Very contemporary. I'm not super familiar with this podcast. I've seen clips before, and I saw a bunch of clips from this one, which is why I decided to use it on Wednesday. But I'm not super familiar with him. So what do you mean by contemporary?
It's because there's a setup there that it's actually accidentally tricking you into being in the intimate zone with someone. This is also why loud bars and nightclubs work so well for facilitating romantic relationships. What happens in a loud bar or a loud nightclub is you can't hear someone. So you go, what? And you get a little bit closer. And all of a sudden you're accidentally standing in someone's intimate zone, which then that cue cycle
I'll get into her intimate zone.
Begins to kick in where you're like, well, if I'm standing within 1.5 feet from this person, maybe I should feel intimate with them, which then makes you lean more, makes you want to touch more. That is why people go to bars and nightclubs to facilitate these romantic relationships. It's accidental.
It has nothing to do with the dark and alcohol. It's the intimate zone.
Going into the intimate zone.
When I was younger, I've said this a few times on the podcast before, but it feels very relevant. My older brother, Jason.
That's not jarring to you guys?
He ordered this book called The Game by Neil Strauss.
The Game by Neil Strauss. Oh, man. Every red pillar and their mother has read The Game by Neil Strauss.
He accidentally put the wrong address, and so it came to home. This sounds like an elaborate story.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is, like, because I do this, people will, this is what so last time we were talking about, the big thing was about being an ambivert as opposed to an extrovert or an introvert. And, the ambivert kind of being where you're either you're a little bit, you can kind of fit the mold where you need to be, And, if you don't have anything to do for 3 days, you're fine chilling out on your own. But if you're out hanging out with people, you're good. Shout out to Mystery. Oh, man. Shout out to Mystery. But yeah, other than that, I'm exactly like you, Howard. Do not bug me unless I feel like talking. I'm old, I'm tired, and I'm busy doing nothing. Bingo. Exactly. Next, I have my phone set so it only rings or gives a text alert if I have you in my contacts. Love that feature. Well, I don't know why, but like I used to just put my phone on silent when I went to sleep. But that, especially because I live alone, like that's, maybe not ideal in an emergency situation. Like something's going on and like my neighbors are trying to call me and whatever. But what was I gonna say? Do not disturb. So I don't know why I never really used do not disturb, but in do not disturb, you can set it to, because like on silent, your alarms will still work. So that was fine. But I would like, let's say I overslept, or let's say I didn't realize that I had a client and they're calling me and they call me a few times and the call doesn't go through, like I've talked to you guys about before. I don't really, even though I work for a company, it's not like I go into an office and I've rarely ever seen my boss. So if I mess up and I accidentally miss a client and they call me, I can be, oh, I'm so sorry. Da, 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 da. And my boss never has to know. I'll be like, oh yeah, they canceled last minute or something like that. But there's been a couple times where I had my phone on silent and I would have been able to get up. Or maybe even I was up and I happened not to look at my phone yet and turn it off silent. And so I changed it for a couple numbers, like my parents' numbers, my boss's number will come through. And that's the way to go. But you're absolutely right. That is the way to go. People who just have their phone on in the middle of it. There's someone in the Discord server who like when will get mad that I'll tag people and be like, yo, where y'all at? Come through the after party. And he's like, we're trying to sleep. I'm like, you're trying to sleep? But everybody else is up and doing, something else about to come through the party. I'm like, well, why don't you don't get mad at me because you have your notifications turned on. Come on, man. Oh man, but oh yeah. Does anybody else remember that pickup artist show? Dude, I watched that like I was studying the Bible. And no, it did not work.
House.
Yes.
And he ordered it to university, but he accidentally put the wrong address, and so it came to home. This sounds like an elaborate story for me, like buying a pickup artist book. But it came to home, and I read the book, and it was my first time understanding that body language.
Oh, sorry to hear. Shout out to your dad, and wish the best for you. And that's good. We could be there for mom and dad, right? Wishing the best. Best.
Important, but even something you could learn.
Yes.
And when I say body language, I mean everything. And it's interesting because now, after reading your work, I actually think maybe what I should have been aiming at was how to be more charismatic. And you talk about these 5 science-based habits for being more charismatic.
Yeah.
I guess the first question is, what is charisma?
Yes.
And then what are these 5 science-based habits that can make me more charismatic as a person? Like, how do I know if I'm charismatic?
You are charismatic, but you lean higher on competence. So let's break it down, okay? So this is not...
Yeah, I guess maybe I should add my neighbor to that list. But like, I'm just trying to think, would she ever call me on some dumb shit at like 9 a.m? Because she doesn't have my parents' number. That's what I'll do. I'll give her my parents' number. If anything, if she can't reach me, just go to my parents and they'll figure it out. Shout out to Carl. Welcome to the party. Said I find talking on the phone beyond conveying the minimum necessary information to be very feminine. It's something a teenage girl does. Yeah. Yep. Even when my dad calls and it's like we're talking about, let's say we're talking about Christmas plans. Like what we're like, hey, going to this place at 7:30. Here's the address. That's all I need. We'll talk when we're there. I don't need to chit chat with you about which road I'm going to take. I'm going to follow the GPS. Exactly right. Welcome. We also got Dixon Cider. Welcome. So there was a Canadian pickup artist show too, called Keys to the VIP. I missed that one, but see, you got all the game now. You got the Canadian game, you got the American game. You're all over it. Welcome to the party. Good to see you guys. Good to see you.
You are charismatic, but you lean higher on competence. So let's break it down, okay?
Okay.
So this is not my work. This is the work of Dr. Susan Fisk. This is an instrumental study. It's been repeated many times back in 2002 that found that to be charismatic, you have to be both highly warm and highly competent. Or more importantly, you have to signal high warmth and high competence. And that this makes up 82% of impressions of people. Warmth, trust, likability, friendliness.
Warmth, trust, likability, and friendliness. Okay. I think I'm pretty good in all those.
Competence, power, reliability,
Whoa. Okay, I didn't realize. I thought that was the end of the list. All right, let's back up.
capability. So trust, likability, friendliness. Competence, power, reliability, capability. So very high.
Wait, are these two different categories?
High warmth and high competence.
Okay. So warmth versus competence. Okay, I missed that part. All right, so for warmth,
And that this makes up 82% of impressions of people. Warmth, trust, likability, friendliness.
trust, likability, and friendliness. That's you're gonna be a more warm person.
Competence, power, reliability, capability.
So power, reliability, and capability. I mean, out of these two, I like convenient how warmth goes under, or trust, likability, and friendliness goes under warmth, power, reliability, and compatibility goes under competence. Which one of these would you rather people know you for? Let's make that a poll. Oh, we already have a poll. What's our poll? I completely forgot. Oh, did you see part one? Okay, a bunch of you saw part one. Word up. Would you rather be known for being a warm person or a competent person? Which would you rather be? Warm or competent? Interesting. I mean, obviously you want to be warm and competent, but if you're one of the other.
Warmth, trust, likability, friendliness. Competence, power, reliability, capability. So very highly charismatic people.
Me too.
You meet them, you see them, and they are signaling, you can trust me, you like me, and boy, am I reliable and competent at the very same time. So when I say you are charismatic, but you lean very high in competence, which means that people can see you as cold or stoic if you're not showing enough warmth cues. Have you been told that? Intimidating?
Indirectly.
Yeah. Right.
So he seems like not a cold person, as if like he doesn't care, but on the scale of warmth, he doesn't have a very warm and inviting personality, just because he's kind of laid back and not very animated. So while it's not off-putting, it's not inviting.
Warmth cues. Have you been told that? Intimidating?
Indirectly.
Yeah, right.
People are just going to say it to me when I'm joking. But no, I do get that. I think I have like some degree of self-awareness as to how I come across. And I think how you described it is exactly how I come across.
And that's not a bad thing, right? Like you get to pick your own recipe. Like I lean a little higher on the warm side. I'm also female. There are differences between men and women. So typically, not always, men default to higher in competence. Women are defaulted to higher in warmth. Typically, not always. This isn't a bad thing, but you should know that if you are trying to come across as warmer on your team, you're trying to inspire more collaboration, you're trying to make more friends, you want to dial up your warmth cues. If you're someone who's interrupted a lot, not taken seriously, people forget meeting you, you need to dial up competence.
Yeah, not really a problem that I deal with. People seem to remember me. Shout out to Indie Film. Welcome. I'm semi-competent. I would agree. Welcome to the party. Guys, we got a new swoggle on the table. Don't forget. Check it out.
Not
if
taken
you're
seriously.
interested.
People forget meeting you, you need to dial up competence. This is like a thermostat. You can dial up warmth cues and dial up competence cues, and this changes the way people treat you. So I have 5 power cues for competence, and I have 5 warm cues for warmth.
We're going to go through all of those.
Yes.
I saw this wonderful graph, which kind of
Yes.
explains it, which I'll put on the screen for anyone that's
Yes.
watching.
All right, so let's see if we can see what we're seeing. So we got the warmth scale and the competence scale. In the danger zone, if you have low warmth and low competence. If you're very competent but you're not very warm, you're gonna be in this. Okay, well that's pretty simple. This warm and competent in charisma zone is when you've got both. Danger zones when you got neither. Okay, pretty simple.
And this was really, really interesting. There's a danger zone.
Uh-huh.
The danger zone, I'm guessing, is when you're low warmth and low competence.
That's it. Those are those folks that are stoic. If you don't send enough warmth cues.
Mr. Indie Film, always talking about you got to be stoic, stoicism this, stoicism that. And yes, absolutely. Having control over your emotions is an extremely important part of being a man. But it's not the end all be all.
That's it. Those are those folks that are stoic. If you don't send enough warmth cues, if you don't send enough competence cues, people cannot trust you. They have trouble working with you. They have trouble talking to you. This is the curse of very smart people. Very smart people think, my ideas will stand alone. My book smarts are great. I don't need to communicate these cues. My ideas are enough. That's what happened to Jamie Siminoff in the tank. He did not show enough warmth or competence cues. He relied solely on his ideas and his numbers, and he could not get a deal. So people who want to be taken seriously, you have to show warmth and competence. The other problem with highly competent...
That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing about the pickup artist type is that you know what they're doing, but they still do it well. It's like a Mike Tyson punch. You know what he's going to do, but it still comes bam.
A deal. So people who want to be taken seriously, you have to show warmth and competence. The other problem with highly competent folks, and you lean higher in competence, so this is for you too, which is this directly from the research. Too much competence without enough warmth leaves people feeling suspicious. So no matter how competent you are, no matter how good your ideas are, if you are not showcasing that with warmth, people are skeptical of you. And this is what happens with a lot of my students is they're like, people don't trust me. They don't believe my ideas. They're skeptical. I get pushback, or I do sales trainings. They can't close.
And this goes back to, again, this was kind of the bottom line of part one is that it doesn't matter if you have the best ideas in the world, if you can't articulate them to other people, if you can't get other people on board, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you what you have to say. People won't listen.
You'll push back on their numbers. And that is because some part of them is saying, I hear your competence, but you're not giving me enough warmth.
Can you be too warm?
You can be absolutely too warm. You can be too warm and too competent. Too warm,
That's an interesting. What would you? I guess being like a pushover, maybe. What would that look like? Being too warm. Yeah, maybe that. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Dilly dilly to him. Next, I only care what people think if I like and respect them. If you earn my respect, I tend to be kind to you. What, you? No, you're not kind to anybody. You're so mean. If you know, you know. Next, if you earn my respect, I tend to be kind to you. I may bust your balls if I'm fairly certain you know I'm joking, but it's only for fun. Indeed, indeed. Hey, shout out to Gottfried. Welcome to the party. Headed to bed. You sleep like a baby, sir. I slept like a baby last night, maybe a little too well. So you go and do the same. And shout out to our boy Guam Tex. Said it's chilly tonight. We could use a little more warmth. That's what I was saying, guys. I was this close to canceling the stream, so I need you guys to rally me and bring it together. We got a new swole goal. All that will very much help. I didn't sleep, and then I slept in late, and then it was crazy. It was a thing. It was a thing. But we are back. Carlos said, "This is the same chick who was raised in a cult." No, that is a different chick. She said she did public relations stuff too. She said she did public relations, or the cult girl said she did public relations. Either way, no, that was the Asian girl. Remember? This is who we covered the following day. So Dixon says, "Too warm is people who can't deliver." I feel like, according to the chart that they were using, can we get a little thing? Yeah, like this thing. If we look at that, then we have warmth and competence. People who can't deliver, I think, would be just low on the competence scale. I don't know that you could be somebody who can't deliver and be really nice and inviting, and you could be somebody who can't deliver and be an asshole. So I think this is just more about the competence scale. I'm not sure. We will have to see. King said, "Nick is going to be scary when he finally gets mad. I don't want to see it." I said, "Shit. Me neither. Me neither." Shout out to Winter Solstice. Finally, those days are going to get a little bit longer, right? Warmth can be misconstrued as wuss. Wuss and pussy? I don't know. Let's see. Can you be too warm?
Giving me enough warmth.
Can you be too warm?
You can be absolutely too warm. You can be too warm and too competent. Too warm. You know what that looks like? Oh, yes. That's too warm.
Okay.
Okay.
Remember?
Too warm is, so we'll talk about the 5 warmth cues. Too much of any cue is dangerous, right? So too much nodding, too much laughing, too much vocalizations.
So not quite the pushover aspect, but the too much of the notion of like, oh, that girl who will laugh at anything. Like, I don't know if what I said is generally funny because she'll laugh at anything, or something. That's the best example I got so far.
Those are all too warm, and they make us think this person is a bimbo or a ditz or not competent. That's what happens. We have too much warmth. It takes away from our competence.
Where should we start?
Okay.
Let's start with the power cues.
Okay, the power cue. So this is competence.
Yes, power
Power.
cues. Let me get some more power cues. Okay, so we talked about the importance of hand gestures. There is a very good competent hand gesture, which everyone should know if you want to be perceived as higher in competence. It's called the steeple.
All right. Oh, I was going to see if we could guess it with the steeple. All right. Well, everybody listen. When I do this, it means Illuminati! Illuminati! Hey, shout out to Nick again with the 199 out sponsoring himself. He's like, I need Buckmaster's help. It takes a village, guys. It takes a village. Who's gonna help Nick out? It's only Nick right now. If you want to see that puppy bench press, we gotta hit the goal. That's 2 out of 15, brother. Thank you so much. And of course, that means you are still the sponsor of the stream. Thank you, sir.
A very good competent hand gesture, which everyone should know if you want to be perceived as higher in competence. It's called the steeple.
Oh, this.
Oh, yes. It's on the cover of my book if you want to see it. Yes. This looks when your hands look like a little
And inside are all the people.
steeple. They're kind of relaxed and open.
It's a triangle for anyone that can't. It's kind of like a triangle.
Yep, a triangle. It's a power pose for the hands. Why? If you were doing this pose, you're showing I'm not hiding anything from you. You can still see my palms, but I am very relaxed.
Did you notice that I was like, all right, I gotta make sure my palms are on the thumbnail. Remember the last time she said we were talking about like handshakes and stuff, and anything where you can show your palms, any kind of thumbnail where you can put your palm out there. I don't have a lot of those. I gotta take some new pictures, but I had this one. So I was like, all right, word up. Let me put that on there. Shout out to Plungecast. Welcome to the party. Hitting up a Lego Batman set. Good for you. Carl said, you will see bouncers and cops talk with their hands a lot. It's a way to keep your hands in a semi-defensive posture without alerting the other person that you're ready to fight. Little subterfuge there. All right. We'll look out for that. So she's talking about this steeple more like this kind of thing. Like, well, I'm very important in my apartment. Smells of rich mahogany. That's the vibe. I'm
hiding anything from you. You can still see my palms, but I am very relaxed and poised enough so that I'm keeping my hands together. Now be careful, don't drum. This is evil fingers.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Burns, for those of you who know, right?
Yeah.
So it's a nice still steeple. They rated hand gestures in a study, and they found that this was the highest rated hand gesture that leaders made when they made this gesture. Now, personally, I don't use this a lot in my interpersonal interactions because it doesn't feel super natural to me. It's funny because we took one picture for my cover photos, and every single picture of me for my cover photos I was smiling. And my wonderful photographer, Maggie Kirkland, said, Vanessa, can we just do one of you serious? And I was like, but I'm not serious. She's like, just one. Just do your most powerful power cue. And this is the only picture. And that was the one that we chose for it. So it's just funny because it's a very high competence cue. So you can try the steeple. Just be careful not to do evil finger. Evil!
I think I did do that. Did I do that when I was doing that? Like, well, I mean, that's a natural thing that I'm gonna do. Shout out to King Nirvana with the $2. You give me the money. You give me the money. Shout out to Anna Kasparian. Another $2. Thank you so very much. We're 1/5 of the way there already, guys. We are 1/5 of the way there. We don't need no funky master. Teamwork makes the dream work, baby. Thank you so much.
With it. That's a high confidence cue.
That picture of you on the front, what is that signaling?
So it's a perfect balance, right? So 1, I have the steeple cue, confidence gesture. 2, I'm angled towards you. My body is angled towards you, which is a warmth cue. That's fronting. My toes are angled towards you, which is warmth. I also have a smoldering eye contact look, which is high confidence.
Smoldering eye contact. All right, I'm gonna need some more explanation there, but smoldering eye
We can talk
contact.
about, and I have an up face, right? I'm not in my resting bothered face, so that's a slight warmth cue.
Yeah, in case you missed that, she likes to say resting bothered face instead of resting bitch face.
That is actually how it makes me feel. There's an element of power, but it's not an intimidating level of power.
Because I balanced it with that warmth.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a welcoming.
Well, yay.
Power, yeah.
Woo, we did it. Now I got to do it for the next one.
So
Okay, so
steeple.
Okay, steeple. Yeah. Second, this is a weird one. The most important measurement on your entire body is the distance.
I wish. Oh my God. If it was 80 degrees, bro. If it was 80 degrees, Morty may or may not have to poop right now. I'd say he would, because like I said, I woke up late, so it took him out late for the first time, and then I took him out a couple hours ago, and then like usually around 6:30, 6:30, 7 o'clock is when I take him out, and he takes a poop right before the show. But he wasn't ready because he just went, and we were late, and it's just a whole thing to go out there, and it's raining right now. Oh man, I am jealous. I am jealous, sir. Oh.
This is a weird one. The most important measurement on your entire body is the distance between your earlobe and your shoulder. This distance right here. Watch.
Yo, someone go tell Zippy why is he posting in shit while he ain't coming through? Come on.
If I were to do this in the interview the entire time, if I were to have a very small distance between my earlobe and my shoulder, I would look anxious. I would also have a really hard time giving you vocal power. You would have a hard. Do you trust me?
No, you look nervous.
Right. I look nervous. There's a direct correlation between confidence and anxiety and the distance between our shoulder and our earlobe. And very quickly.
Wait, what?
There's a direct correlation between confidence and anxiety and the distance between our shoulder and our earlobe.
The difference between your shoulder and your earlobe. All right, let's see. Your shoulder and your earlobe. So everybody, I need a consensus here. I need you guys to do this. So we got my shoulder and my earlobe. So it should be about the size of you doing this. It should be that size. I don't know what. So I guess that means, and it said
right.
Anxiety.
There's a direct correlation between confidence and anxiety.
Confidence and anxiety. So I would assume she looks like she's got a pretty decent size. Like she's got a kind of a long neck and actually also kind of a long face. So I'm going to guess that the more distance, the more anxiety. That's my guess. Hey, shout out to Unwanted Foe. Welcome to the party. So you got a smoldering steeple. I got the good stuff, bro. You got any of that smoldering steeple? Oh man, I need some smoldering steeple. I don't. I'm fresh out, bro. But oh wait, bam! I got it right there for you. Welcome to the party. Thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. Very good to see you. Arrow said, your shoulders are so skinny. I know. That's why we're doing the Squall Stream. Y'all gotta help me bulk up. I need your help. I'm just not gonna do it alone. I need y'all's help. Hit that swole go. Gottfried said, okay, one thing. Germany's head of cybersecurity was fired by a plain government media defamation from a Russian spy. Got no compensation for damages after his proven innocence and with no repercussions for the media. That's government for you. Hey, look what we got. We got our boy Zippy DSM Lee. Welcome. Always a pleasure to see you, sir. Good to see you.
You trust me?
No, you look nervous.
Right. I look nervous. There's a direct correlation between confidence and anxiety and the distance between our shoulder and our earlobe. And very quickly, we're trying to just assess someone in the first few seconds of seeing them. We're trying to assess how confident are you? Can I catch it? We don't like people who are anxious. We don't want to talk to someone like this because we don't want to catch that.
I should have thought about that. Okay, so it's relative distance. That's what we're talking about. Not how much distance is between your shoulders and your ears, but the relative distance for your body. The closer that your ears are to your shoulders, the more anxiety that portrays. That makes a lot more sense. So yeah, if you're doing that, like that is going, so you want nice and relax, bro, relax. Okay, now
Catch it. We don't like people who are anxious. We don't want to talk to someone like this because we don't want to catch that anxiety, but we do want to talk to someone who has the max distance between their earlobes and their shoulder.
So even with that, now you got even more distance between this ear and this shoulder. I mean, technically that's closer there, but all right, we're picking all this stuff
because we don't want to catch that anxiety, but we do want to talk to someone who has the max distance between their earlobes and their shoulder. So when you're in a first impression, also in your profile pictures, I want a relaxed distance, shoulders down, earlobes out, which is another reason why I like that this is how your table is set up, because it pushes my shoulders down, so I have a max distance. That makes me look more confident, but it also makes me feel more confident. There's a look here. So when you do the steeple, and then you roll your shoulders down and back, you will begin to feel more confident. Don't you feel good?
Have confidence in me. So when you got this, I think the facial expressions definitely have a difference there. Really quick, guys, can I ask you a huge favor? And please share this video. Take the URL or hit the share button wherever it doesn't matter. Take it to Facebook, X, Rumble, YouTube, wherever you can put it. Plaster it everywhere. It does not matter, guys, if you think people are going to click on your link. Just by you telling YouTube that I would like other people to see this, they will show it to other people. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And then you roll your shoulders down and back, you will begin to feel more confident. Don't you feel good?
What if you like raise your head though? Like,
stir and push forward with you what?
Because if I'm trying to get my ears away from my shoulders, I might go like this.
Actually, they're the same distance. So you want to actually keep you want to keep your chin level. And if you can help it, you don't want to actually look down your nose at someone. It's quite a scornful, judgmental. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, it's literally called looking down your nose at someone.
So you just noticed it even when I did it. So it's not this, it's just this. So maximizing this difference.
Yeah.
Third one, I love eye contact. We all know good eye contact is important. But here's what you might not know about good eye contact. Eye contact is a power move when you look at someone at the end of your sentence. So we're very used to, if someone's thinking about something and they're processing something in their head, and I'm telling you that there were 465 gestures in a TED Talk, that is the most important way that I want to showcase something to you.
Okay. I like that, because I've told, yeah, exactly. That's the phrase. But I've told, or I told you guys last time when we were talking about this, that thank you very, very much, sir. Oh, look at that. Very much appreciated, guys. Thank you so much. It really does help. And look how easy it was. What the fuck was I just?
165 gestures in a TED Talk.
Oh yeah. Looking at the end of your sentence. So last time we were talking about how I have to be. You remember the guy asked her. She said she's got kind of a resting bitch face, and her mouth turns down. So she or consciously has to kind of turn her mouth up so that she doesn't look bitchy. And I was talking about how, well, okay, that that makes sense, because when I'm doing this, I consciously have to remember, okay, I need to look at the camera sometimes, because that's not a normal thing. I naturally look at myself. Like this is, the camera's here, but like I'm pointing at my own face on the screen right now. So I'm looking at myself, and that's a natural thing. So I have to remember not only to just not stare at myself, but also, whenever I'm doing this, looking around, to come back and not just every once in a while look in the camera, but end the sentence on looking at the camera. Said she'll share it on the Amos Moses channel. There you go. It all helps. Thank you. Carl said, I don't like the idea of homogenizing and altering my authentic manner to better connect with people. Why would you want to interact the same way as everyone else? Well, I don't think that's I don't think that is the point here. I think the point is that, and you said, I don't want to be a fake person. And so I don't think that's the point. I think the point is to be better at communicating what it is that you actually want to communicate. So if you are a warm person, but you happen to be nervous in a situation, then you know that lowering your shoulders is going to help portray you as the person that you really are. If you know what you're talking about, and there's a lot going on, and so you happen to look over here and you happen to look over there, and you know that at the end of the sentence that you want to bring your attention back to the person like that, then it's not being fake. It's putting your best foot forward. I would say it's the same concept as why you would dress nicely at a job interview. You're not being fake. You're just being more of what you want to present. And I think as you see, it's not about practicing all these things to manipulate people. Again, it's about being more of yourself. And it has to do with people who unconsciously do the things that send the wrong message, and making sure that, yeah, exactly, Godfrey. This should might accurately turn out useful. Exactly.
Someone's thinking about something and they're processing something in their head, and I'm telling you that there were 465 gestures in a TED Talk. That is the most important way that I want to showcase something to you.
Hey, shout out to Boss. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you, my brother. Very good to see you. Let's see. I'm not going to say anything.
465 gestures in a TED Talk. That is the most important way that I want to showcase something to you. That we like it when someone is actually accessing different memories or areas of their brain, but then when I end my sentence looking right at you, you're like, whoa. So highly competent people make eye contact specifically at the end of their sentences to drill a point, and ideally when the other person is saying something important.
Okay, interesting. I just did it then.
Yeah.
I do that when I'm doing interviews, because I kind of like look off into the distance to think a little bit, and then I come back to ask.
The worst advice I hear people give, body language experts give, make more eye contact, make 100% eye contact.
It's awkward.
Actually, in Western cultures, they've studied this. The ideal amount of eye contact is between 60 and 70% of the conversation. If you make over 70% eye contact, it's actually considered a territorial gesture.
Yeah, weird. Why you staring me down, bro? Like, hey, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that we're selling these solar panels, and if you don't buy the solar panels, then you're not gonna get the right savings on your electricity bill, if you know what I mean. 60 to 70%. And again, I think that goes to the notion, going back to what Carl was saying, is that it's not about being fake. I think it's about the fact that people tend to kind of meander and not make eye contact when they're saying something that they, that they genuinely mean, or maybe they're passionate about it, or whatever the case may be. And so the message isn't getting across. And so it's not about being fake. It's about being more real.
So if I were to be making 100% eye contact with you, it feels very invasive, very awkward. We like it when someone is processing or gathering information from around. Like if I'm processing something, or I'm thinking about something, or I'm accessing, all that matters is at the end of my point, I'm looking right at you. A little bit. And that feels so much more powerful.
Okay, so that's number 3.
Yeah, that's number 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Fourth one of my favorites. It's called a lower lid flex.
Lower lid flex. That's talking about your lower lids. I don't think I have very much dexterity with my lower lids.
Flex is one of the least utilized, but one of my favorite cues. So biologically speaking,
there you go. Everybody is getting helped.
When we are trying to see something far away, we harden our lower lids. Like I'm trying to read the titles on your bookshelf. I harden my lower lids. That is because when our eye is trying to see far, it squints to block out the light.
So, okay, if I can, that's going to be the next logo. Sounds fucking alien. So it does make sense when she's saying you're paying attention. So like doing that kind of, but if I can guess where this is going, I would say when somebody says something that you don't understand or you don't agree with, that you kind of give them that kind of thing. That's where I think this is going.
Mm-hmm. So you'll see more details in my face when you harden your lower lid at me. So harden your lower lid. If you look at People's Sexiest Men Alive, almost every man in that magazine it's Zoolander. right? Blue steel is actually just a lower lid flex. That is because when someone is trying to really focus on something and really understand something, their lower lid is flexed as you're doing right now. And boy, oh boy, do we like it when someone is lower lid flexing at us, because it means you are really trying to understand and see me. So a lower lid flex is a great power cue to use in moderation, right? Nothing too much. That when someone is saying something on a date or in a meeting, or a colleague is saying something really important and you want to show them, I am really listening, that lower lid flex shows them I am super focused and intense on you.
I don't like the term lower lid flex. Like, I feel like there's a lot of other muscles being flexed there, and that's not really like, I don't know. That's weird, but all right, fair enough. Blue steel your friends to show them that you're interested.
That is why women find men who do the lower lid flex very sexy, because they feel like, ooh, he's really focusing on me. Now, there's a little side note to the lower lid flex. Lower lid flex it's inherently in itself a positive cue. It's a cue of focus, right? If you are in a presentation or a meeting and you say something and someone suddenly lid flexes at you, you might have just said something they're like, really?
I told you. What did I tell you?
Got him.
Because I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And
I told you. I knew it was going there. Shout out to Unwanted Bo said, yes, I'm listening, boss. Lower lid flex. There you go. That's how you do it. That's how to use it to be fake. And of course, a treat for Morty. Thank you. So very, very much, sir. Yeah, that's definitely a way to use it. But again, this I think where this is most relevant is to somebody who is not listening, but they just look like they're not listening. Okay, so remember The Office. There was the episode where Dwight has to go, try to sell Dunder Mifflin to a woman, and they don't know who it is. And, it turns out to be Jan. But, before that, they're like, okay, you need to, be soft and show that you're listening. And so Pam just starts talking, and he's just sitting there straight-faced. And she's like, are you listening? He's like, yes. He's like, well, show me. Like, I can't do that. My ears, I listen with my ears. He's like, oh, And so that kind of thing, where you are listening, but you look like you're not listening. So you can do these things to show the reality of the fact that you're listening.
Yeah.
So for me, this was a game-changing moment as I was giving a presentation to a bunch of executives. And I said something about oxytocin, which is the hormone of love and cuddle and connection. And he goes, I saw him lower lid flex at me.
But he's also turned his head there.
I don't remember if he turned his head, but all I noticed is that distinctly he went from to
yes.
And I went, does that make sense? Any questions? So if you see a lower lid flex, your best choice is to try to gather more information. That makes sense? All good? Any questions for me? How we feel about this?
So that's an example of understanding what it is, not to use it on other people, but to be able to read it in other people. So if you think that, because again, somebody may not speak up and say something just because they lost you or they disagree with something. And so if you're talking and you see that, then you can do this to prevent yourself from, going off on a whole tangent of something that somebody either doesn't agree or doesn't understand.
Choice is to try to gather more information. That makes sense? All good? Any questions for me? How we feel about this? So I said, any questions for me? And he goes, and I looked right at him. I said, any questions?
Yeah, if you check out the goal, guys, it's going to be a puppy bench press. So I'm going to bench press Morty 15 times. And it's going to be cute.
For me? He said, I think they gave my wife oxytocin in labor. Is that the same thing? And it's true that they give a form of oxytocin to induce women in labor. That's how strong oxytocin is. That in high doses, it will put women into labor. It's a form, it's called Pitocin. I said, you're absolutely right. In medical settings, they can give synthetic forms of oxytocin to push women into labor. That was a moment for me because one, as I realized I was able to stop the skepticism and the confusion right there.
So that is a powerful tool that especially if somebody is primed to be against you. Like, let's say you're talking to someone who is already on the opposite side of an issue, and you say something, then you can see that maybe they're going to be the type of person who is just looking for whatever they can to pick out to argue with. Now, if you're talking and you see that, then that's a cue that, oh, you just said something that they think they've got a point. And if you're making sure that they understand, then again, you're going to be a lot clearer. You're going to be much better understood.
Before we moved on to anything else. And now when I teach oxytocin, I say in social settings, oxytocin means this, because in medical settings, it means something different. So noticing that lower lid flex is incredibly important for you to understand where you might have a hint of skepticism or a hint of confusion. If you're in a sales meeting or a presentation, you want to make sure you have addressed whatever that person is flexing about before you move on.
Mm-hmm.
Super interesting. In that example you give there as well, had you not investigated that lower lid flex, you might have also thought something you said was wrong and lost your confidence, and that can spiral into closing off and becoming a worse presenter.
This is why I thought
True.
people hated me and I hated people. So for my folks that are listening who are like, I hate people, and I get it, I was misreading cues as skeptical or negative of me when it could have been neutral or curiosity or trying to understand something better. If you can give these a try, it will help you more deeply understand people, which might help you like them more. Ready for the fifth one?
I'm ready for the fifth.
Okay, the
Number
fifth one. This is a
5.
vocal cue. So we talked a lot about body language cues, but vocal cues are incredibly important.
We should have been writing these down. I don't remember what all of them are. I remember the lower lid flex. I remember the steeple. I remember we had, okay, so I think steeple was the first one. We had the ear and shoulder thing. That was 2. We had the lower lid flex. What was the other one? Who remembers? She said 5. She said we're on number 5. I didn't have my tooth tied. I had my knees fused together. There you go. Zippy said, try to be diplomatic and neutral, but humans. Yep. Not looking down the nose. Oh, that is so common. People just constantly thinking that they know everything. Oh, that was the 5th one. Good one. Bingo. But yeah, that is so constant that you have people thinking that they are, whether it's a level of moral superiority or intellectual superiority, people are constantly just thinking that they are way better than they are. So we had the shoulder shift. Because looking away from someone in a conversation is one of the tells that someone is lying. I'd be curious how she resolves that with too much eye contact. I think she talks about that directly. We're in How to Spot a Liar. So it looks like she's about to talk about that. And then, yeah, we had the 60 to 70% eye contact. All right.
One, this is a vocal cue. So we talked a lot about body language cues, but vocal cues are incredibly important. Vocal cues tell someone how you are feeling about them and how you feel about yourself. One of the biggest ones is an
I love you, dude. Totally. I love you.
Accidental question inflection. A question inflection is when we go up at the end of our sentence.
Upspeak? Like these fucking ditzy girls that will just do it all the time? Or the guys on TikTok now that for some reason talk like this? The only thing is that they have that one that they'll do 5 lines of that's the TikTok voice I was trying to get last time. Every time we go out here, there's a crazy amount of this. And then the last line is, you will never know.
Is an accidental question inflection. A question inflection is when we go up at the end of our sentence. So it sounds like we're asking a question, even if we're actually using a statement. The research has actually looked at what the brain does when it hears an accidental question inflection. If we are listening to someone and we hear them accidentally use the question inflection, our brain goes from listening to scrutinizing.
Zoomer talk.
Why? Our brain wonders, why did you ask me that? Liars typically accidentally use the question inflection. If I say to my daughter, did you take the cookie from the cookie jar? And she goes,
I was just looking and I didn't even know that there was cookies. So I don't think I took any cookies at all.
no.
Yeah.
Liars are asking, do you believe this? So we have noticed, we did a massive experiment in our lab where we had people play 2 truths and a lie with us. So share 2 truths about themselves and a lie. And we found overwhelmingly one of the biggest patterns, there's a couple of different patterns, but one of the biggest ones was that liars asked their lie statement. So like it would sound like this. Here, you can play with me and I'll add the question inflection to one. I love dogs. I live in Austin, Texas, and I love cilantro.
Oh yeah, you don't like cilantro.
Okay.
No.
Damn it. I didn't pause in time, but I was gonna.
Crime against humanity. Like, why do people put cilantro on anything? So
cilantro is awesome.
we noticed people asked the lie because they were asking, do you believe this? So our brain is very adept at this. If we hear the accidental question inflection used, we go, wait a minute, is someone lying to me? The biggest mistake that salespeople make is they get to their entire pitch and they ask their number. So it sounds like this.
Like, oh my God, gag me with a spin. The uplift at the end of each sentence is begging for reassurance. Yes, ma'am.
That salespeople make is they get to their entire pitch and they ask their number. So it sounds like this.
25?
Hi, we'd love to do business with you. We'd love to have your project. And the cost of this service is $5,000.
That does sound very like insecure. It sounds insecure. Yeah, begging for reassurance. That is specifically the way that she said that with the 5,000.
Love to have your project, and the cost of this service is $5,000. If you ask your number, you are begging people to negotiate with you. If you are asking for a raise or you are asking for a certain salary and you ask it, you are signaling to the other person, I don't really believe this number and you shouldn't either. So the power cue, number 5 power cue, is using the downward inflection. Highly competent people, they do not mistakenly use the question inflection. They actually go down at the end of their sentences. President Obama is very good at slinging down his words, which makes you want to listen. So it sounds like this. I'm going to say nothing so you can hear it.
Hey, shout out to Unwanted Bo. Oh my goodness. Do I have to read this? Is it only? Oh, okay. You had it backwards. Whew. Said only mutants have taste buds where cilantro tastes like soap. Cilantro is so good. Any kind of Mexican food, taco, anything should have so much garlic and so much cilantro. Hell yeah. Thank you. And of course, a treat for Morty. And I believe that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. And thank you, sir. Guys, we are already over. We are over a third of the way there to our goal. Thank you so very, very much.
Slinging down his words, which makes you want to listen. So it sounds like this. I'm going to say nothing so you can hear it. The problem in this country is that we don't take seriously enough the issues of our people. And if we don't take those issues seriously, we will be in grave trouble.
I didn't hear a downward tone. I heard a downward like I heard her slow down. Let's see. Hold on. Let me get this banner for our boy Unwanted Bo. Thank you. So let's. Oh no, King. Oh man, you're one of them. How dare you? Hey, Nick's coming back. He's like, give me back that sponsor spot. I even messed it up there, but give me back that sponsor spot. Where am I? I'm all over the place. Thank you, sir. Yummy. Guys, that's more than halfway there. We are more than halfway there. Thank you so very, very much, sir. Actually,
and if we don't take those issues seriously.
Wait, we got 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, and 7. Oh, so I want to vote still up there with $7. There you go. Thank you, sir.
We will be in grave trouble. So he tends to go down at the end of his sentences. He also has a lot of space in the bottom of his mouth. That gives him more resonance, but it also makes us think, oh, he really believes his word, because it's the opposite of the question inflection. If you have a boundary, if you're setting a limit, if you're telling someone something really important about you, say it. Don't ask it.
Say it with your chest. Hey, Box News. This is the match for the donations the other night. True to my word, the PBS method. Oh my goodness. Thank you so very, very much, sir. Oh my goodness. Let's get Morty his treat here. Thank you so very, very much, brother. You absolutely did not have to do that. I really, really, really appreciate that. That means so, so, so much. And of course, guys, as you can see, the smaller ones really, they really add up. They really, really do. But when someone comes through and drops something heavy like that, we got to stop the show and say thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much. You could have just not, and I never would have held it against you, but you did it. You said it, and you did it. And yeah, even just saying it to get people to super chat in the first place, I would have been okay with that. But you said it. I'm going to match whatever comes through, and then he did it. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much. It's Christmas indeed. Almost there. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very, very much. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream.
If you're telling someone something really important about you, say it. Don't ask it. That is the biggest thing you can do to get people to take you seriously.
Interesting.
And don't ask your name. Most often, I hear people ask their own name, and it destroys their vocal charisma.
Really?
So that would be
really? People ask their name? I'm John. That's weird. I definitely noticed that when people use the upspeak thing. Obviously, it's something that we've all heard before, and we've heard like the Valley Girl thing where people use it all the time. But I definitely notice when people will like, especially responding to a question. They'll respond to a question with an answer, but use the upspeak. Like, are you asking me or telling me? And yeah, it's not a good look.
My name is Vanessa Van Edwards. Not my name is Vanessa Van Edwards. Your perceptions of my confidence in those two introductions are radically different. There's a study that looked at this, and they looked at
Bucks News said, Merry Christmas to everyone. I'm listening while gaming. Gotta get back to poning people. Well, dilly to you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
the vocal statements of surgeons. They had surgeons.
The vocal statements of surgeons. What?
There's a study that looked at this, and they looked at the vocal
Papa Lutch, just talking about you, bro.
statements of surgeons. They had surgeons come into their lab and record 10-second voice tone clips, the clips that are most important when they're meeting patients. Their name, their specialty, and where they worked. Sounded like this. Hi, my name is Dr. Edwards. I specialize in oncology, and I work at Children's Presbyterian Hospital. They took these clips and they warbled the words. So you could hear the volume, the pace, the cadence, but not the actual words being said. So it sounded like this.
So the first two sentences had the upspeak, and then the third one, I don't know. Again, I'm not fully understanding what she means about the down speak. She used a different term, but that doesn't sound like the same. That doesn't sound like just the opposite of upspeak. I mean, it doesn't sound like what she's referring to is that you're no. I don't think that's what she means. She might be, but when she's demonstrating it, if that is the case, she does it a lot more subtly with the downspeak than the upspeak. But what I heard with those two, if they garble it, then it's there was 2 up and 1 down.
Edwards, I specialize in oncology, and I work at Children's Presbyterian Hospital. They took these clips and they warbled the words. So you could hear the volume, the pace, the cadence, but not the actual words being said. So it sounded like this.
Shout out, Godfrey. Thank you for stopping by, brother. You have a good one. I was probably getting several lumps of coal in my stocking, which I probably deserve. Well, why is that? You gotta be better. If you deserve it, then hey, you ain't got no sympathy for me. Why would you deserve it? Carl said, let me ask you a question. Not a question, a question. How does she feel about Ebonics? I've been very interested to see. Let's watch some Obama clips to find out what she means. It's like he's like, JK, please, no. Hi, I'm a doctor, not a gynecologist, because my fingers are too big. Ugh.
And they warbled the words. So you could hear the volume, the pace, the cadence, but not the actual words being said. So it sounded like this.
Yup.
Hello.
They had an entire hate stream. It's so pathetic. The two dudes who did the Christianity stream with me and Guamtech, when me and Guamtech were up here, they had some hate stream about me and Black Salami, and they all apparently hate me now. But we're all friends,
You
right?
can hear the volume, the pace, the cadence, but not the actual words being said. So it sounded like this. I worked very hard on practicing that, by the way.
That's amazing.
Because it has to sound like me, but nothing. They took these clips and they had people rate these surgeons on warmth and competence, the two things that we know are most important for charisma. The doctors who had the lowest ratings of warmth and competence
Had the most upspeak.
had the highest rate of malpractice lawsuits.
Oh, whoa. I did not expect that.
Ratings of warmth and competence had the highest rate of malpractice lawsuits. In other words, we don't sue doctors based on their skills. We sue doctors based on our perception of their skills, and that happens within the first few seconds of hearing them. So if you give the question inflection on your name, on your specialty, on what
You're gonna get sued.
you do, people begin to doubt you. So the bad doctors sounded like this. Hi, my name is Dr. Edwards. I specialize in oncology, and I work at Children's Presbyterian Hospital.
Yeah.
Those doctors got rated as low in both warmth and competence because their brains were going, what are they asking? Are they not sure? I'm not sure either.
Are you asking or are you
So it's really
telling?
signaling conviction in
Confidence.
who you are,
Yeah.
what you're about, and what you
Yeah.
do. Interesting.
So practice your name, your price.
I like most of my doctors. Are you like you mean you like your doctors the most? That's an odd way of phrasing that, sir.
Okay, my name is Steven. No, that was up.
That was
wasn't
a
it?
little
Hi, my name's Steven.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I literally asked that like a question, didn't I? The first one. I was like,
Yeah.
hello, my name's Steven.
Yeah,
'Cause I was actually asking.
So I mean, let's think if I'm like, welcome back to the party. I'm your host, Lech, aka the Indian Jesus. That's going down. Welcome back to the party, everybody. I don't know. So you don't want to overthink it. You want it to be your natural inflection. Hey, shout out to Unwanted for another $2. Thank you, sir. Said Papa Lech, no upspeak. I mean, he's pretty much on the tail end of his career. He's got it by now. I think his doctor skills are up there. Not that I would know, but he's been doing it for a minute, I think, and he's never been sued. So I think we're good. But thank you. So very, very much, sir, guys. That is 9 out of 15. That's 9 out of 15. We are getting there. A few more, and I'm on the floor.
I was trying to ask you if it was a good pronunciation. That's so funny.
That was the upward inflection. And didn't it feel different?
Totally different. The second one was me.
Uh-huh.
So the first one was like seeking validation.
And you use a lot of downward inflection, except when you're asking questions, which we like.
Okay.
Right? That's why you lean higher in competence, is you use already a lot of downward inflection.
It's so interesting because as you were speaking, something came to mind, which I was reading about in your work, which is you're really good at what you do. You're like
Thank
very
you.
good at, as a guest on a podcast and just as a professional generally. And as I was thinking this, I was saying to myself, I'm sure she knows. And I'm sure she can tell from my face that I think she's good. But it's funny because in your work, you say that we overassume people can read us.
Yes.
You talking shit about Papa Lech, yo? Come on. Don't be talking shit about Papa Lech.
But it's funny because in your work, you say that we overassume people can read us.
Yes.
So like when I was thinking, oh, she's so good.
Us degenerates, or you know what? Let me just keep my mouth shut and thank our boy Funk Master General. Welcome to the party. No question, no comment, just pure love of the game. Thank you, sir. Very good to see ya. As always, welcome to the party. We're doing part 2 with the hidden language to be friends with everybody. Welcome.
You say that
To the
we overassume people can read us.
Yes.
So like when I was thinking, oh, she's so good. And in your work, it says that I was doing it. I was assuming you knew how I felt about you.
Mm.
But in your work, you also make the case that I should say it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's an effect where we think that people know how we feel. Specifically, it's called signal amplification bias.
Signal amplification bias. Signal amplification bias. Okay, wait.
We think that people know how we feel.
So, as we've been talking about this parasocial relationship thing, right? It's been, very present on my mind. And the one side, the easy thing is to see what other people are doing wrong in any kind of relationship, whether it's a friendship or a work relationship, whatever. It's always easiest to see what other people are doing wrong against you. And so in a parasocial relationship, well, I'm the one up here, talking and have my face on the internet and everything. Then you guys are just able to use the text. And so there's an imbalance. The easy thing for me to point out is, hey, why do you expect me to know you so well? I just see your words in the chat. That's the easy thing for me to point out. The hard thing for me to point out is, how come you don't understand me when I spend so much time talking and doing whatever? There's exactly what she's saying. There's an expectation that you guys will understand me better than you actually do. Even though you understand, it is true that you understand me better than I understand you. There's still an aspect where I think you understand me better than you do. Because number one, I know me. And number two, even if it's something that I have talked about on stream, maybe you didn't fucking see that stream. But for me, because it was said on stream, it's hard to remember that not everybody understands that or would have seen it. Hey, shout out to Little Toes. Welcome to the party. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Jesus Christ, that one girl you warned me about started begging for me back. F that. There you go. Stay strong, brother. Stay strong. That's what I'm talking about. Good to see you, brother. Always good to see ya. Funkmaster said, I understand you. You're speaking perfectly clear English. I try. He is alive, back from the dead. All right, let's dive back in here. So yeah, that's the other side of the parasocial relationship that I have to remember that just because I said it on stream, just because I know it, doesn't mean it's fair to expect that you know it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's an effect where we think that people know how we feel. Specifically, it's called signal amplification bias. There's a name for this study, which is that we think our signals are obvious. That if we like someone or if we're having a good time, we think, oh, they for sure know it. They don't. Oh, the 3 magic phrases, we never finish them. That's why you say, I was just thinking of you. That's a way of assuring someone, I do think of you. Only if it's true. The second.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. She's coming back to the three what?
Thinking of you.
No, the three.
Oh, the 3 magic phrases, we never.
So the 3 magic phrases. She's talking about, getting people to being warm to people. And so she said the first one was, I'm thinking of you. And I was saying that for men, I wouldn't necessarily tell your friends, oh, I was thinking of you, especially out of the blue. She was saying, if you can just go out of the blue, I was thinking about you. I would, adjust that a little bit and be a little bit more fucking manly about it. Be like, oh, this, this reminded me of you or something, like this thing happened, or remember when we did that or something like that. So now she's going back into that. So 3 magic phrases. Before we grab that, let's go on text. And it's seriously never good to assume that anyone understands you. You should always be prepared to explain and rejoice when you don't have to. You found a compatible person to talk with. It's a blessing. Indeed, it is.
Someone, or if we're having a good time, we think, oh, they for sure know it. They don't. Oh, the 3 magic phrases, we never finish them.
So we got.
That's why you say, I was just thinking of you.
That's one.
That's a way of assuring someone, I do think of you. Only if it's true. The second one is, you're always so if you're with someone and you're
always so gay,
impressed by them, or they're interesting, or they're funny, saying, oh, you always make me laugh. You're always so interesting. You're always so great to interview. You're always so great at interviews. Giving them a label that is a positive label is the best gift you can give someone because it's fighting that signal amplification bias. And the last one is
So number one is I'm thinking of you, or this made me think of you. And number two is you're always this. And so it's talking about how it's talking about recognizing a pattern. That indicates a pattern. If somebody is always this, that means I've not only are you doing this right now, but this is something that embodies you. This is something that is a relevant thing. This lady seems super high maintenance. I mean, I don't think this is her saying what you need to do every. Again, these aren't all conscious things that you need to be doing in your everyday conversation. These are just a long list of things that are, that affect perception. So it's not saying make sure you check off all of these boxes. It's saying this is this is going to make people think this way. This is going to make people think that way. This is going to make people think that way. So it's not about you need to put all of these together and do things. It's just about when you do things, this is what it means.
Time we talked, you mentioned.
Yeah.
We are so honored when we get brain space that you remembered and that you're going to bring it up. And you specifically bring up something that they lit up with. Something they were like, oh, it was great. It was exciting. It was wonderful. Those are my 3 magic phrases. And it's because they are fighting that signal amplification bias. I have no idea if you like this interview. I have no idea if you like my work. I have no idea. And the more that you can broadcast those symbols, those signals, the more people actually like you.
So what advice would you give me then as an interview? I guess I'm an interview host of the show.
She's going to go towards his warmth. She's going to go back to the warmth thing. The fact of the matter is he's not a very expressive person, which raises the question as to how the fuck this channel has 8 million subscribers. But
what advice would you give me then as an interview? I guess I'm an interview host of the show. Because people come here, sometimes they're nervous. We have people come in there. Some people come in there nervous a little bit, and I always want to make them feel comfortable. But as you said, I probably don't rank that high on warmth, so it doesn't come that natural to me. I'm not the kind of person that comes out and is like, "Hiya, welcome," and like, "Hey."
And that would be off brand for you.
Right,
it wouldn't be authentic.
No, it would be off brand for you. Right, it's too much. Okay.
Hey, shout out and welcome to Sarah Marie. Welcome. Said nothing is more brisk than a cup of iced tea. Ooh. Got him! If you know, you know. He tried to comment on something like, "Oh, hey, yeah, this is why everybody hates you and nobody." Don't care, brother. But welcome to the party, and we had another one from Nick. Oh, Nick, thank you, sir. We got one. What is that? 12. 3 more, baby. And I'm on the floor. Oh, look. Speak of the devil. He thinks I give a fucking shit. Look, watch me move on with my life, bro.
And that would be off brand for you.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be authentic.
No, it would be off brand for you. Right, it's too much. Okay, so 5 warmth cues. Okay. So for those of you who are listening, the 5 power cues I just shared, those are if you think you are really high in warmth, but you worry that people don't take you seriously, you're worried that people ignore you, you get interrupted in meetings. I want you to use those 5 power cues if that's you. Now I'm going to teach you 5 warmth cues.
Hey, Dixon inside her, a gifted membership. Thank you so very, very much, sir. Shout out to Jack Talcott. If you are not already in the Discord, then definitely come and join us, because you are now a full member with full access, including the after party. Thank you, sir. Guamtech said this lady may not speak to everyone's need for conversation when your livelihood or your relationships depend on it. She seems to have helpful advice to get you through it.
Bingo.
Exactly. I think if you are, again, trying to use this as a way to manipulate people, then that's going to be an issue, because number one, it's going to be people are going to see through it. It's not, these things aren't subtle if you're doing all of them. But also it's about certain situations. It's not gonna yeah, exactly, it may not just speak to everyone's needs for conversations. Well said. Wilto said, people that interrupt and ignore are just rude assholes and need to be given the same treatment. Oh, I could not agree with you more, sir. I could not agree with you more.
Thanks. I want you to use those 5 power cues if that's you. Now I'm going to teach you 5 warmth cues.
Shout out to Lil Neggy. Welcome. So what's going on with this plasmoid orbs, bro? I have no idea. But welcome to the party.
If you have ever been told you're intimidating, hard to talk to, cold, if you often feel like people are holding back or not opening up to you, I want you to use these 5 warmth cues. This is dialing up your thermostat. Okay, these are for you too.
Dialing, I like that. That's cute. We're dialing up the thermostat, get it? Warmth.
We love a triple nod. Research has found that if we do a slow triple nod, the other person speaks 67% longer. So as an interview, this is a great cue. Watch. So here's my triple nod is We love it. It's like a nonverbal ... It's like, tell me more. Now, be careful. Don't bobblehead. So you don't want to do it too much. Right. That's too high and warm. Okay. And second, you don't want to do it too fast. Too fast of a triple nod is impatience.
I mean, shut up.
Yeah. So if you want someone to wrap, if you want someone to wrap a question, that.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's exactly
right. So here's for everyone watching. Here's good. Here's please hurry up.
Yeah, that's shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. And it works. It's a really nice way of saying, please wrap, please end. So I love a warm triple nod, but you have to be careful with it. Okay, so that's cue number 1. Second, a head tilt. So universally, if we're trying to hear something, we tilt our head up and we expose our ear, right?
Like a dog.
Right? We're as if we're saying, what was that? Like dogs do this when they're like, and they expose their ear. Humans also do this across cultures because it's kind of a way that we're like, oh, I'm listening to this. Research has found that if you deliver bad news with a head tilt, you are more likable. So people take the news better if you deliver bad news with a slight head tilt, because it literally makes you look more warm. It literally makes you look like you're listening. Now, I only want you to do this when you're acting.
No, I just removed him. How you could say this while you are currently a viewer. You're just too dumb. You're just too dumb to engage.
Actually listening. But a head tilt is also a way that you can slightly add warmth to your conversation or to your interview or to your date. Okay, so we're going to go back to so we don't want to go too far. That looks weird. A little weird, right? Not too much. And I also like to teach a head tilt to my highly...
Wait a minute. What? What is happening here? Have to let the cat in. He's not mine. It's just my turn. I mean, I could take this in a direction that I don't think it applies to. But what?
A little weird, right? Not too much. And I also like to teach a head tilt to my highly warm folks who are bobbleheaders. So if you're like, oh, I do this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a bobbleheader. I'm a recovering bobbleheader.
I'm not. Do any of you feel like you're a bobbleheader?
Because I like people to like me, right? So I'll nod too much. If you are a bobbleheader, you can...
Well, Toes, you're never too drunk. Just kidding. Dilly. Box News said, I'm not in real life, but on camera. Yes. All right. Fair enough. I think that makes sense, because you have less, we're talking about how through text, there's a certain level of, just tone that you're not understanding. And on video, there's one level, but there's still not at the same level as if you're actually in person.
Because I like people to like me, right? So I'll nod too much. If you are a bobbleheader, you can train yourself to replace it with the head tilt, because it's physically impossible to head tilt while you nod. So if you're a bobbleheader, just head tilt.
Okay.
Head tilt.
There's something about the head tilt which it signals they care.
Yeah.
And they're empathetic.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about someone's head tilt because if someone was firing me and they were doing it like this, I feel like they don't care. There's something ruthless. But if they do it like this, it's like,
you really care about me.
That's so crazy. Just such a small...
That one little thing. You know that you mentioned the book, The Game?
Yes.
I know a lot about that world. And there's a funny trick they teach, which I'll teach you. It's not part of my warmth cues, but I'm gonna teach it to you because I think it's interesting.
Bunkmaster General said, former bobbleheader, current a chicken header. All right. Wilto said, I might bobblehead when laughing and listening to someone, but it's not really shaking my head. Yeah, I feel like that's more of a girl thing. More of a girl thing. Monk said, no head tilt, please, thank you. And you want to show people that you're listening. I feel like I actually do that more when I feel like I naturally do that pretty well. Like when I'm listening, like I feel like I do that naturally pretty well. My phone said, with the $2, thank you so very, very much, sir. Said, it's not you, it's me. Thank you. And of course, a treat for Morty. Guys, two more, and we're on the floor. Beautiful. Thank you so very, very much, sir. Little Toes said, this seems like surface level stuff people be worrying about too much. Well, I disagree with you, because there are, first, let's just ask you, how much have you thought about how much your head tilts? How much have you thought about the distance between your ears and your ears and your shoulder? So either it's surface level stuff, or people are worrying about it too much. I think the point is that yes, it's surface level stuff, but people aren't actually worrying about it. And so when they don't see that like, they're coming off as anxious because their shoulders up by their ears, and they're nodding their head like, totally. Like, that seems like crazy. And so again, I think it's stuff that if you need to worry about it, then it's definitely something that it's like, oh, okay, I do that. I need to make sure. But as Gornzik said, maybe it's not for you personally. You don't have these issues. Obviously, you don't need to worry about the solutions to issues that you don't have, right? No, that goes across the board. Hey, shout out to Funk Master General, not once but twice with the $2. And guys, that takes us over the mark. We have hit our goal. We have hit our soul goal. Let's get our music set. Let's get the music set. It's time to get soul. It's time to get soul. All right, guys. What did I say here? 15 reps of a puppy bench press. You're coming with me this time. One. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Get it. Let's go. Look at themselves. Look at themselves. You did a push-up, you did a plank. What did you do? Let me know. Pay your bill. Thank you so very, very much. Oh, all right. Who paid themselves? Let's get to all of these. Yeah, you definitely should. Where we at? And still no pull-up bar, but we work what we got to. Said, hey, he's going home. Let's actually keep this going. Morty's loving it. The Martini, tabletop. What? Oh man. All right, let's go back to all these. Need 2% of all morning fresh money in the future, or Fair enough. You ripped a dart. What is that? Is that a what? Good for you if you did. Shout out to whoever paid themselves. Beautiful, guys. That is how we do it. Keep it swole, and oh my goodness. Oh, come on, brother. Funkmaster General with another $10 to give him 2 treats for that. All right. So 1 for the Funkmaster General, 1 as an extra treat for Marty, and fuck it, let's go 1 more time. There we go. Guanzek said, pay yourselves, bitches. Drop it down for 20 right now. That's how you do it. If you can't do 20, do 10. If you can't do 10, do 5. If you can't do 5, do 3. Do what you can do, and do what you can do. There we go. Well done. Oh, beautiful. All right, where did we leave off here? Box News said, it's unconscious to most. You can use that fact to your advantage just by paying attention. Exactly. Now you're understanding. Yeah, a lot of people got weird habits, bro. You can act like you don't have any weird habits. Maybe, if you pay attention, you'll be like, oh shit, I have some weird habits that I didn't even know that I had. Nick said, when I'm thinking, I tend to look up, down, or to one side or the other, especially if I'm not in person. Yeah, that's a common thing. And again, bringing that back to eye contact at the end of the sentence really makes a difference. Carl said, if someone is unvetted, there's a good reason to disbelieve their entire story, no matter how convincing they are. Watch cops on the street. They assume everyone is lying. Yup. Where we at? Box like I smoked a cigarette. All right, well, whatever smokes your boat, whatever floats your boat, whatever works. Nick said, put in my 3rd set of 25 Mike Tyson incline push-ups. Put my feet on a milk crate to get the incline position. There you go. I know who you are, but if you say it under Box News, I'm going to say Box News. Arrow said, my straight OC is comfortable with me because I'm always hooked. Straight OC? What's OC? Morty's probably deaf. Well, I mean, all of this is the soundboard is the only thing that he's hearing. Everything else is coming through my headphones. Orange cat. All right, fair enough. That's his name, OC. All right, let's dive back in here. Thank you so very, very, very much, guys, for bulking me up. Thank you.
There's a funny trick they teach, which I'll teach you. It's not part of my warmth cues, but I'm gonna teach it to you because I think it's interesting. Mm-hmm. Don't let anyone use this on you. Okay.
And nobody at home use this on anyone else.
Don't use this on anyone else. But so there's this thing that NLP people will do, or pickup artists will do, where they move their hand like this, and the other person will begin to nod, because typically when we do this with our hand, the other person starts to nod, which makes you think, I agree.
What are you doing for anyone that is watching?
I'm moving my hand up and down in a nodding yes motion. And so what I've noticed very manipulative people will do is they'll be doing this. They speak like, don't you understand what I'm saying? Do you get this? And the other person will start to nod. And I've seen entire audience will start nodding. And then you think to yourself, well, I'm nodding, so I must agree with this person. It's a secret way to get someone to secretly agree with you. So just be careful. Don't make sure no one uses that on you.
Secretly.
And you're doing it in a bit of a circular motion.
Right.
It looks
Circular
like.
motion.
It's not straight up and down. You're just kind of like, for anyone that can't see, she's
like, we're rolling something forward. And then you're like, it's really hard to not nod your head when someone's doing this, which then makes you feel like you agree with them.
That's so crazy. It's like you've got like a string on my head.
A string on your head. It's very weird. So don't let anyone do that to you. And don't use it.
Don't use it on anyone.
I don't teach it in my books because it's like, I'm worried if you...
It's too powerful.
It's too powerful. Okay, triple nod, head tilt, 1 and 2.
Okay.
Can you handle the power? I was heading out. You have a good one. So I'm just going to start closing my eyes when people talk. Oh, let us know how that works out for you, Val. Let us know how that works out.
My books, because it's like, I'm worried if you...
It's too powerful.
It's too powerful. Okay, triple nod, head tilt, 1 and 2.
Okay.
Third, we already talked about this one, an authentic smile, right? A smile that reaches all the way up into your eyes. Highly.
Yeah, remember we talked about that one with the teeth smile, where if you almost can't tell. So if we went up, because last time it was in the cheek. So if I go up here, you could still tell from the right there, but a real smile is from the eyes.
Really warm people typically do that authentic smile more. Now, I don't like a fake smile, so I only want you to do it when you're authentic. We should work on it.
That was my authentic smile. You laughed. This is why I don't smile. This is why people think I'm intimidating, because people laugh at my smile.
That's good. That was better. That was better. That was better.
That was not a good smile.
Tell you're lying. This is body language. I can tell you're lying.
That was better. That was better than the first one.
Better than the first one. That doesn't mean it's good.
Well,
I'm looking for good.
Anyway, number 4 is
so authentic smells number 3.
Authentic smells number 3. Number 4. We love a lean. Oh, we love a lean. When in the
sipping on that lean
proxemic zones, right? We're in those 4 zones. If someone's leaning into you, it shows they're literally trying to cross into that zone very, very subtly. And so you'll notice very highly charismatic people who you want to be friends with, they'll be like, tell me more. Tell me everything. And they lean in really close to you, and that makes you also feel closer. So if you want to be seen as higher in warmth, you can do this as a speaker. So you can lean in as you bold an important point. Like when I'm making an important point for you, I lean into it. I'm like, listen to this. This is good. But if I'm listening to you and you say something good, I'll be like, what? Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you can do it as a speaker and as a listener, and it immediately adds more warmth.
It's funny. Okay, this might be a little bit of a tangent, but it just came to mind as you were speaking. There are like the odd person in my life who I've known for many, many years, but whenever I'm around them, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. My body is just off. And like, I just don't know what it is. Like, I'm thinking of one particular person, I shan't name, where I could be in a room full of people and I'm relaxed, I'm calm, whatever. And this person who I've known for many, many years, the minute they arrived in the room.
There you go. There you go. That's the way to do it. You don't need to spend money on that bullshit. Carl said, wasn't there a bit in Matt Walsh's movie about not over smiling at black people and the queers? I think so. That's white supremacy. Of course. Obviously. Is he gay? Is his body out? I do not know. Wilto said, this is mostly how females react with each other, but kind of fake. So it's just bitches being bitches. All right, man. I feel like you're kind of, just seeing what you want to see and thinking that you're better than good information that's right in front of your face. But, whatever, bro.
And
whatever.
This person I've known for many, many years, the minute they arrived in the room, I would
like clearly homeboy here is soaking this up.
Be able to be the same person, and I don't know what it is. Like I'd suddenly start overthinking my body language, and I'd start thinking it's how's my legs and it's my body, and I'd start blocking a little bit. What is that trying to tell me? Do I need to cut this person out of my life? Is there like words unspoken? What is it?
I would say it means do more research. I think that gut feelings are incredibly important because, the best cue reading machine we have is our subconscious, right? Our subconscious or unconscious is picking up on lots of cues that we can't consciously know. We can't consciously know that we're smelling adrenaline, but we are smelling it. So I think that's a very important thing to pay attention to. It doesn't mean you should cut them out, but I think it's time to do more research. Are they truly happy for you? Are they truly rooting for you? Are they secretly angry or jealous?
Maybe I'm doing it to them.
Oh my God, Stacey, tell me more.
It's possible that you're in a loop with them, right?
Yeah.
Like you're expecting that bad thing and that expectation becomes reality. Like they've studied this, that the Pygmalion effect is real. If you expect not to like someone, you send off more unlikable cues. They feel unliked, and so they don't like you either. And so it could be that you're in a loop with this person that maybe you make them feel the same way.
What do I have to do then next time I see them? Because I want
Try to break the cycle. Try to break the cycle. If it's really them, then if you break the cycle and they bring it right back to where it was, then it's them.
to dial up.
Yeah, Box said, gut feelings keep you alive from snakes. They don't help build skyscrapers. True, but I mean, so okay, what are you really saying here? I agree. Well, what are you actually saying here?
I don't know, some warmth with this person or something, or break that cycle.
Okay, if I were you, they're important to you?
Yeah, they're important to me.
Okay, so I would recommend asking questions that will level you up with them to level 2. So my guess is you might be stuck in level 1 with them because you're obviously uncomfortable with them. Research shows that the more commonalities we have someone, the more that we understand them, the more compassion we have with them, the more that we like someone. So I wonder if we could level up your relationship with them so that you get to know them better, which means you'll like them more. And if you make it through these 6 or 7 questions and you still don't like them, then maybe they're not your person.
Okay.
Okay, can I give you some questions for them?
Please.
Okay.
Please.
So here are my favorite, I call these level 1, level 2, level 3 questions. In the framework that I'm
Level 1. It's only so deep. At some point, you have to ignore them.
Bingo.
Yep, indeed. Hey, again with a Nick. Thank you for the 199. Said, feed my overlord. The overlord is fed. Thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. Little Toe said, I'm gonna go to level 777 with my power core body language. Okay. It's over 9,000!
researching right now. It's not done yet. I have 4 questions for each level, and I'm working through these questions. But here are the questions that I think are the shortcut to connection.
Okay.
That if you ask these questions, your partner, your friend, your colleagues, you're gonna level up with them. Okay, first, are you working on anything exciting recently? So stop asking, what do you do? Stop asking, how are you? Stop asking, how's it going? That's why you hate people. If you're asking those questions, of course you're gonna hate people. Those are the most boring questions anyone's ever asked.
So again, Mr. Little Toes, maybe this is more about, again, things that you're not really aware that you're doing that are turning people off to you that then make you not want to engage with them.
Can I give you a challenge?
Yeah.
A challenge. Here's one challenge from this podcast. Stop asking, what do you do? For 30 days, I want you to go on a what do you do diet.
All right.
Asking what do you do is telling the person's brain, stay on autopilot.
Damn, I asked
Say,
that last
I know.
night.
No more. We're on a diet.
Okay.
Also asking someone, what do you do, is asking, what are you worth? And if someone's not defined by what they do, it's actually a rude question.
Do you know what? You're so right. It's so funny you say this because yesterday I went to this thing in New York, right? And I was introducing myself to some people, and there was one particular person who I went over to, and we were having a conversation. And halfway through the conversation, I went, "So what do you do?" And do you know what they replied? They went, "This." And I went home thinking about it. Like I was like, of course, we're fucking at work. Like,
obviously. But like, here's what exactly. Box is saying, "How are you?" is better. No, it's not. Like, okay, maybe marginally, but what if they're not doing well? The point that she's talking about here is using small talk to get past small talk. If you just say, "How are you?" and somebody's not doing, "Oh, I'm fine," then what? How are you? "Oh, I'm all right." I would not use "How are you?" If you're going to use "How are you?" or "Have you been working on anything lately?" definitely use the latter. Definitely.
And I went home thinking about it. Like, I was like, of course, we're fucking at work. Like, what I've done there is I've just belittled what we're doing right now as if it couldn't possibly have been what they do.
Right.
And I just...
Okay, but so, like, if you're not trying to engage with someone, then using things that's going to be better at engaging with someone, not really what we're talking about, right?
I honestly, I got in bed last night thinking about it. I thought, oh, God, do you know what it was? I think I was so impressed by them that I was a bit awkward.
Yeah.
And then that just came out mid-sentence. What do you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
God.
so we're going on a diet. Everyone for the next 30 days, we're going on a diet. No more what do you do. You're going to replace it with working on anything exciting these days or working on anything exciting recently. This is permission connection. You ask someone that question, you are giving them permission. If they want to tell you about what they do, they will.
Mm-hmm.
If they are not defined by what they do, they'll tell you something better. And that also gives you really good nuggets for the next time you see them when you can say, hey, how was that thing you were working on that was really exciting going? So start with working on anything exciting these days, working on anything exciting right now.
So I hope your well is not a good intro for a chat thread either. No, because again, either it's too vague. It's too vague because like, okay, thanks. You want to ask open-ended questions. And you want to have open-ended questions that inspire people to answer you in ways that they want to answer. This whole thing is about not liking other people and not wanting to interact with other people. But exactly what she's saying is maybe it's your fucking fault. Maybe it's not them that you don't like. It's the way that you make them feel. So they act in a way that you don't like. And it's everybody. So you think it's people. But really, it's you that's the annoying one. You're just talking shit now. Yeah, exactly. Guamtech said, even asking if anything is new is a better starter than how are you?
Bingo.
If there's nothing new, you can always ask why. Either way, it keeps the conversation going. Sure. But it's better than it's better than nothing. But the idea is that, again, you want to keep people engaged. If you make people feel engaged, then the conversation you have is going to be more enjoyable to you. Also, maybe we should make it like Brave New World, where they would say, how are you? Thank you very much. I'm fine, without a pause for the person to respond. Because really, who cares? I mean, you're kidding, but when you phrase it like that, people stop caring. People stop caring.
We're working on it was really exciting going. So start with working on anything exciting these days, working on anything exciting right now. Second, what's your biggest goal right now? So if you can, especially as we go into the new year, you're in the new year, right? Beginning part of the year. I ask this question in December, January, and February. I ask everyone, what's your biggest goal right now? What's your big goal for 2025?
I don't really like that one. I feel like that one's kind of like, what if I don't really have a goal right now? I feel like that is kind of putting somebody on the spot. Yeah, right? A little bit too much for an opener. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see.
When you ask this question, you're going to get one of two responses. One, someone shuts you down. I don't believe in goals. Not my person. Not my person. I'm a growth-minded person. If someone says that, I'm like, cool, peace. We're not going to get along very well because I have a lot of goals. Or they're going to be like, oh.
Why do you think that is, bro? Seems like you're getting really defensive over nothing. So maybe there's a reason why you're so emotionally invested in this. Like a bunch of people watching this stream right now who don't like me. And instead of going on and living their lives, they're watching somebody that they don't like and whining about it. Do you think that's a good use of time? That's why you don't like it, because she's on okay, bro. All right, bro. If that's what you think, then you must be right.
Cool, peace. We're not going to get along very well because I have a lot of goals. Or they're going to be like, oh, let me tell you. And they're going to tell you all about goals. That's also a great thing you can follow up on, because then when you see them a month later or a week later or a year later, you can be like, hey, how did that go?
Right. I'm very aware of that. Well, wait, you can make no, sir, you can't. Being pissed is an emotion. If you weren't pissed and you just didn't care, you would just turn off the stream.
It's a great
So,
interview question.
It's a great.
I was just thinking that I should ask people
Great.
that in the interview because
Trademark.
no, because you're right. Someone that can't articulate some kind of goal is probably not my kind of person.
Hmm.
Those kind of people that go, oh, there's actually those.
But exactly the point. I could articulate a goal, but like I don't necessarily think about things in terms of, oh, this is my current goal, and I always have, like, there's things I'm working on, there's things I'm doing. Like, I would like to have a family one day. I want to grow the channel. I want to, you know what I mean? But like, I don't necessarily think about goals in terms of specific, whatchamacallit? Yeah, like milestones like that. Buck said, I feel like we come to learn others' goals over time just by hanging out with them. It's not really a question I have asked much ever. Yeah, not necessarily the shout out to Office Space. 2 chicks at the same time, man. And yeah, I mean that's a good goal, but this again is, if you don't have this issue, then you don't need the solution to the issue. That's good. That's good that you don't have the issue. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. I'm not gonna address anything more of, if like, not everything that happens on the internet is specifically for you and is meant to be addressed directly to you. So maybe there's gonna be some things that aren't directly relevant to your life. That's okay. That's okay. Samarie said, am a girl playing the stream. Word up. Thank you for playing the stream. Boxer, what do you do this? What was your goal this? Not necessarily, because what you do is specifically asking about your job, and your job might not be your goal. But again, I don't just necessarily, I would be, yeah. So just, our goal is just wishes without having a plan. No, a lot of people have, you mean goal wishes with a plan. If you're saying wishes with a plan, then yeah. But definitely if you have a goal and you have a plan to get to that goal, then clearly it's not a goal without a plan.
Some kind of goal is probably not my kind of person. Those kind of people that go, oh, those kind of people don't listen to this podcast anyway.
Right.
They just leave
They're not
hate
here.
comments and fuck up. Like, so.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it's a very, I call those allergy questions.
Interesting.
It's a way to see, are we going to have an allergic reaction to each other? It creates an allergy. Like, I know there's a type of person, it susses them out really quickly, and that's not my kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so working on anything exciting? What's your goal right now? And then this is harder. This is a self-narrative question. Do we want to go deeper for self-narrative question?
Of course we want to go deeper.
So
it's a little bit disheartening how far over your head some of this is going for some of you. It's a little depressing. I mean, not depressing, like, I don't, but it's sad. I thought you guys were a little bit,
if we're getting into self-narrative and you're trying to figure out yourself or someone else's narrative,
y'all asked for a part 2. I don't know what the fuck you're
it sounds
bitching
innocuous, but it's not. What book, movie, or TV character is most like you, and why? It's kind of a silly, like, dinner party question that's like sort of sounds casual, but the answer to this question is so incredibly important. And here's an example. How someone relates to characters, their values or personality, is how they see themselves. And people's answers will shock you. I'll give you one example. I was friends with someone for 6 years. One of my closest friends. Saw them all the time. Weekends. We went on out together. We went on weekend trips together. I thought I knew her so well. I was like, I know her. I asked her this question, and I hypothesized, this is all my research for my next book. I was like, I hypothesize she's a mom of 3, super funny, super savvy. I was like, she's going to pick a great, like, TV mom character, that's super savvy and funny. Asked her. She thinks about it for maybe 1 second and goes, Katniss Everdeen's from the Hunger Games. I was like, the one who's like fighting for her life? She's like, yeah, that's how I feel every day. And we, for the first time in 6 years.
So who would you be? So let's get the exact, what was the exact question?
Mom character. She's a mom of, I asked her this question, and I hypothesized, this is all my research for my next book. All
right, so let's have you guys each answer the question.
Like, I hypothesized she's a mom of 3, super funny, super savvy. I was like, she's going to pick a great, like, TV mom character. Shock you to characters. There is so It's kind of a silly like dinner party question. If we're getting into self-narrative and you're trying to figure out
Here's a
yourself
question.
or
I want an answer from everyone.
someone else's narrative, you want to ask the question. It sounds innocuous, but it's not. What book, movie, or TV character is most like you?
What book, movie, or TV character is most like you? Who would I say? I don't know. So you want to fuck yourself? Okay. Dixon said Cash from Tango and Cash. All right, alert up. Trying to think who I'm thinking about, obviously How I Met Your Mother comes to mind. Really close. But Ted's just a little bit more, he's too much of a weenie for me to be like Ted. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I could be a Marshall. I could be a Marshall. I'm kind of goofy. I haven't been married, but if I was, I think I would be like that. What are you guys talking about? King said Charlie from Always Sunny. That's a good one. I like that. Nick said Super Fudge. It was the first thing I thought of. Jesse from Hey Jesse. Okay. I am kind of Marshall, right? Okay. Thank you. Oh, Box said Leonidas. There you go. Glomtech said, as much as I hate to admit it, probably Ted Lasso. I have that's on the docket. I haven't seen that one yet, so I don't know exactly what that means, but interesting. I'm gonna keep this in mind when I'm watching the show. Funkmaster said Samwise Gamgee. Everyone should want to be like Sam. Shout out to Sam. Or his wife. I'm like his wife. Or what? Interesting. She said book. Yeah, she said book, movie, or TV. Yeah. There you go. All right.
And why? It's kind of a silly like dinner party question that's like sort of sounds casual, but the answer to this question is so incredibly important. And here's an example. How someone relates to characters, their values or personality, is how they see themselves. And people's answers will shock you. I'll give you one example. I was friends with someone for 6 years. One of my closest friends. Saw them all the time. Weekends. We went on outings together. We went on weekend trips together. I thought I knew her so well. I was like, I know her. I asked her this question and I hypothesized, this is all my research for my next book. I was like, I hypothesized she's a mom of 3, super funny, super savvy. I was like, she's going to pick a great like TV mom character, that's super savvy and funny. Asked her. She thinks about it for maybe 1 second and goes, Katniss Everdeen's from the Hunger Games. I was like,
okay, why? Why then? If it's not because we're both Indian, then why? You put it out there. So why?
The one who's like fighting for her life. She's like, yeah, that's how I feel every day. And we, for the first time in 6 years, had a conversation about how she feels about her day that was totally different than anything I'd ever known. That she feels scared and lonely and that she is fighting for survival. And it was the first time that I truly connected with her. I cannot tell you how many times the answer to this question has changed for people in my life. And I'm like careful which examples to use because I'm worried that they're going to be watching, but has changed my relationship with people in my life based on how they see themselves. Not how I see them, but how they see themselves.
It's really interesting because there's so many people listening right now that are now doing that. And they're discovering, maybe for the first time, even how they see themselves. Because it's funny, because when you said that, obviously I did it in my head. And I was like, fuck.
Well, now I want to know what it is. You tell me after?
Like stereotypically. No, I'll tell you now. I was thinking, it's funny, because the first person I thought of was Will Smith. Because people.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. Tom's got it going on. Treat yourself. I said I'd be a kraut dog. Utterly sour. Fair enough. Carl said the outlaw Josie Wells, man. The man with no name. Well, is his name not Josie Wells? He always doubles back for a friend. Shout out. All right.
Stereotypically, no, I'll tell you now. I was thinking, it's funny because the first person I thought of was Will Smith because people say I look like him sometimes, right? So
Yes.
like people when I go to
And you
events
have to
and
correct someone. If someone says who they
Keep your wife's name out my motherfucking mouth.
look like, you say, oh, no,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
look
didn't
like
mean
values
that.
personality.
But then when I thought about TV characters, I actually thought about Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness.
Mm.
And
Mm.
if you think about his journey, he was broke and he was fighting really hard to get out of that situation. And he got out of that situation. So it goes back to the personality type you described at the beginning, where like you think you're hero of your own journey, like, well, you've overcome something and you're, that's kind of, yeah.
And do you feel you've
He is a little bit closer to Jim.
found it?
Found
it. Happiness? Are you at the end of the movie?
I'm at the end of the movie. I don't know if you can ever get to the end of the movie. That's why I'm struggling with that question. Because
I went into that movie having no clue what it was about. And so like the people I was watching with, they like from I guess whatever's in the trailer, lends to something in the ending. And so like we're, at the end of the second act or the start of the third act or whatever in the movie, and people are starting to put the pieces together. I had no idea. I won't spoil it in case you haven't seen it, but 7 Pounds is a great movie. And yeah, I would also suggest not looking at any trailer, excuse me. Not looking at a trailer or information or anything, and just go straight in. And yeah, that's a heart wrencher,
I don't know if you can ever get to the end of the movie. That's why I'm struggling with that question. Because there's
like, I think I found it.
But I've always, I don't know.
Like, not the end of your movie. It's not the end of your life movie, but like in that example, we could have a long discussion about like what is have you made it?
So the reason why I think I'm hesitating is because I think to myself, if I say I've made it or if I'm at the end of the movie, then I'm like, it kind of robs me of the future in a weird way.
Okay. So mods, we know that we don't time people out or anything without letting me know, right? That's not a thing that we do here. So
in my head, it's like robbing me of like doing anything else with my future.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yes. But if you feel like
the end of the movie, I'm like, oh God, like I've got.
Yes, no, that's true. You're never at the end of the movie, but like if you feel that you've made it, it means you have freedom to pursue things and do work for meaning, as opposed to hitting it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like I used to work in call centers at nighttime selling hotel rooms and car insurance and artificial grass. And now I get to sit here and have conversations with people like you and like people tune in and stuff. It's like, if I don't realize at this moment how much privilege I have, I think I'd be pretty fucked up. So yeah, I do feel like disproportionate, like unbelievably fortunate in a way that I actually don't think I can understand. I think maybe I dreamed of this, but to be here feels suspicious.
Suspicious?
Yeah, this was
suspicious.
Strange word that came to mind.
Yes.
It feels suspicious because I don't know, you just think sometimes you think,
are you worried?
Maybe it is worry, but it's also just like, surely not. Like, it's so interesting because I had the dream of like being successful in business, but I didn't have a dream of or ever imagine that my life would be like this, where like people know who you are. I never had that.
So then why are you asking questions that you already know? Did I ask you to time anybody out? Then don't do it. That's why you lost your wrench.
That dream. Never imagined it being possible. That was other people.
For sure.
And so
also I that's a very accurate, like that's how I think of Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness. A little bit is like, you never really see him truly happy in that movie.
No, he's always just running.
Like that.
Yep. Sarah Marie said people who think they know it all are especially annoying to those of us that do.
Bingo.
Yep. Yeah, Click was definitely a hard watch. I don't know why it needed to go that hard. But it went hard.
A little bit is like, you never really see him truly happy in that movie.
No, he's always just running.
Like that's something that that's why I asked, like, did you get it? You know, you pursued it, you're here.
Of course, I'm still chasing after something, aren't I?
That's what I think.
Fucking hell. I don't know what I'm chasing
I
after.
wonder what you're chasing after. I don't know.
I actually don't know.
But I think that you're interviewing for something. Like when I watch your interviews, which are amazing, I'm like, he's trying to find the answer to something. What is it?
Always, like with every person,
For
it's
sure.
a different thing. And actually, most of the answers I'm looking for are my own answers. And my general belief is that if I like authentically go in search of my own answers, which requires some level of like being open and willing to be open, even though there's a lot of people watching, then there'll be lots of other people out there that are struggling with the same things or searching for the same answers as well.
Yes.
It's interesting.
So Gonzag said to Lil Toes, real question. Do you really think you just don't have anything to learn from this lady? Do you think, do you really not have any problem communicating with anyone you know? Lil Toes said, not really. And Carl said, if I could communicate better using her techniques, I would still hesitate to do so because I value being an individual. How do those two ideas connect?
What?
Gonzag said, I'm genuinely curious. I love this shit, but my life depends on this kind of stuff. But I find it interesting. It's actually confusing to me why anyone wouldn't want to know how to communicate better. I agree. Carl said, I have the mannerisms I've developed for 40 years. I'm generally not changing it for anyone. Okay. Okay. All right. If that's what you think is happening, then by all means.
Interesting.
That's kind of
I
sad.
do ask myself a lot, what am I, like, what's the point? Like, what am I?
You lead a horse to water, you know what I mean? Box said, no man is your enemy. No man is your friend. Every man is your teacher. Guantec said, it's not that you're changing yourself. You're just employing some good tactics to open the door to more people.
Bingo.
Do you wear your favorite t-shirt to a job interview? Well, I'm an individual, bro. I'm not changing for anybody. That's some fucking Zoomer shit. Yeah, no. I mean, no, I'm not trying to rip you guys either. I just feel like, one, there is someone else here who is. But the idea that this is worthless information, you're absolutely free to your opinion. I just strongly disagree, and I feel like there hasn't been, a position on why this is something that is not useful or incorrect. That's all. I don't understand.
With the same things or searching for the same answers as well.
Yes.
It's interesting. I do ask myself a lot, what am I, like, what's the point? Like, what am I, but is it not this is a bit of a tangent, obviously. Is it not the case that we should all be searching forever? Like, we should all be in pursuit of something forever?
Yeah, as we talked about before, you shouldn't be employing all of these things at the same time. How are you going to think about whatever you're thinking about? But understanding, well, this has this effect. Next, this has that effect. Next, this has that effect. Okay, well then in the moment, well, what are the effects that you're trying to use? This, and this can show that effect. That's it. Well, it says, I mean, hey, if you like some chick telling you how to communicate, that's all you. Yeah, I like anyone telling me how to communicate better. That's the point. Box said, I wear the same shit all the time. I show up in what I always wear: white V-neck tee, and blue jeans and steel-toed boots. So you would show up to a corporate job interview in that. Okay. Said, I truly believe the lack of good communication is the root of most problems in the world. I agree, which is why I started this channel. And I thought a lot of the people here agreed with me, but I'm finding more and more that that may not be the case. And it just so happens that I say certain things against enemies of them, and that's all it takes. But as soon as it comes to something, all right.
Forever. Like, we should all be in pursuit of something forever.
So again, this is exactly my point. What has she said that's incorrect? What does it matter if she's a man or a woman? I did. That was the scenario.
I do love a quest, and I love pursuing, and I think humans are built to pursue things. But I also think, I hope, I'm not here yet, I'm getting there, that there's a point in our life where we can stop the grind. Like, I think I'm grinding a little bit in my career. I don't know if you feel like that. Like, I've made it. I feel like I've made it. I'm luckier than I can't believe I get paid to do what I do, but I'm still pursuing. I hope there's a point in my life where I can.
There you go. So why are you saying things that have nothing to do with anything? If you're talking about it being, if it's a chick, but you wouldn't listen to it anyway. So what does it, her being a chick have anything to do with it? Oh dear.
Just be sharing wisdom, where I'm not pursuing anything. It's not a number or a list it's just like all I'm doing is sharing wisdom and giving out public education. Like, I think that I'm hopeful that there's a stage of our life where it's just that.
It's number 5 on the one.
My gosh.
We did lean.
Well, from those of you who can see what's happening, if you would like to keep the party raging, you know how to do it.
Number 4.
Number 5 is...
Actually, I have to pause on lean because I wanted to ask you about something I read in a book about peacocking.
Yes.
So I read in this pickup artist book that I read when I was 18 and some of the videos that I watched thereafter.
Okay, so why didn't you bring up her hair color or her height or what she was wearing or whether or not she's wearing glasses or what kind of shoes she has?
And some of the other books that I read thereafter and some of the other videos I watched thereafter about this concept of peacocking where you can, if you're like on a date or you're interested in a girl or a guy in a bar, if you lean in too much, you're signaling low value and like over interest. And ever since I learned that, I've seen it everywhere. And I've seen it in my friends. Me and my friends went to like Marbella or somewhere. I can't remember. It was many, many years ago.
Hey, shout out to Box News for the gifted membership. Thank you. So very, very much, sir. Very much appreciated. Shout out to Guillermo. If you are not already in the Discord, come and join us.
Everywhere. And I've seen it in my friends. Me and my friends went to like Marbella or somewhere. I can't remember. It was many, many years ago. And there was this beautiful girl there. And we were all pursuing her. Yes, like that, like a Labrador.
Yeah.
And I was saying to my boys, there's actually a photo of it on my phone. There's me, Dom, and my friend Ash sat there. And we're looking over at some of our other friends. And we're saying, they're peacocking. They got no chance. And that's how the story transpired.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Guillermo. I'm very glad that you are. So both of you, Dixie, you're not in the fucking Discord. Both of you, get your asses in the Discord, get in the after party, and come fucking chill with us. The show is only the beginning, baby. It's only the beginning.
Over some of our other friends. And we're saying, they're peacocking. They got no chance. And that's how the story transpired. And then when this beautiful girl came over to my other friend, he was aware of this peacocking thing. He kept his neck back. He kept his chest back, all these kinds of things. He didn't lean in, even though it was loud. And closed.
Okay. Here's why. Too much of a lean is a bad thing. It's
I thought we liked the lean.
Closed. Okay. Here's why. Too much of a lean is a bad thing. It's called a bow. Right? If you lean too far over, you get very quickly into bowing or submissive behavior. We don't like people who are submissive to us. We want equals. And so you're absolutely right. What triggers in the brain, if you're leaning too much, is literally, I am subservient to you. And that makes someone who does not want to be in control or in an unequal relationship feel very uneasy. So that is why too much of a lean, always with these nonverbal cues, there's too much of a good thing. You lean too much, it's considered a bow. You also don't want to lean the entire time because then you look like a hunchback. Right?
I'm lowering my value by leaning in too much.
And it's distracting.
You are so pretty. Good one.
Look like a hunchback, right?
I'm lowering my value by leaning in too much.
And it's distracting. Like, I want to lean in as a bold or a highlight. If I were to be reading a book and highlight the entire page, the highlight means nothing. If you lean in when someone's like, what? Really? And then I lean back, then it's powerful. Every single one of these cues we are using as a bold or an emphasis or a highlight. Just enough of a good thing.
Okay. Not too much leaning. Just use it as a party trick. Like I mean just use it like
as a highlighter. Okay, as a highlighter. Okay, you're highlighting. Cool. Yes.
Fine. Number 5.
It's almost like you're not even trying.
Okay, 5, nonverbal bridge. So this is a concept that I learned on the road. So I saw this in action in a lot of our experiments. We did a big speed networking experiment in our lab where we had 500 speed networkers try out different conversation starters. We recorded them, we coded their conversations, and we looked for patterns of good and bad conversations. And we found there were certain questions that worked better than others, and there were certain questions that did terribly. And one thing we found is that when people rated a conversation on a 5 scale, like 5 amazing, best conversation I had, we're going to connect on LinkedIn, I think I like them.
We're gonna connect on LinkedIn. Do you guys have LinkedIn? Actually, I'm gonna make that a poll because I'm curious. I've never been in a situation where I would need. Is it LinkedIn with an E or do they? I don't even care. But yeah, I've never had LinkedIn, and people talk about it so much in certain areas. And I get that, like, if you're, in a more corporate area, it's gonna matter. But I've never had it.
On a 5 scale, like 5 amazing, best conversation I had, we're going to connect on LinkedIn, I think I like them. The best ones, they used a lot of nonverbal bridges. Nonverbal bridges are
shout out to Box. I'm empty. Hold on. All right. We get a little drink. Yeah, see, Dixon's like, I've never used that shit. Ding said, I have one, never read it. Bug said, I have a LinkedIn, it's all lies. I graduated from Harvard. Good for you. Lil Toast thinks that this chick is on drugs. Possibly. Gomtek said to Carl, could be perfect on business, could also be toxic in most other situations. Definitely about the appropriate nature of when you're using these tactics. A very good point.
The best ones, they used a lot of nonverbal bridges.
Wait. I want to, where's, hey, let's give a dilly on that one. Dilly.
Nonverbal bridges are when someone is trying to bridge the distance between you. So that could be a lean. Lean is one of them, but it also could be a reach out. We noticed that in the good conversations, people were trying to physically close the distance between them with hand gestures, with leans, with nods, with foot movement, with drinks. And when they were close enough, they would often do very light touches on the arms, on the shoulder. So have you seen this like on a really good date? Have you ever been in a restaurant? Like my husband and I like to play this game where we look and we try to guess if a couple is very like new couple, old couple, how they're doing. In a very good date, they are looking for as many opportunities to touch as they possibly can. That's a nonverbal bridge. Even if I were to be like, oh, let me tell you something, like that slight reach.
Well, so I mean, in business, this might be good, but I've been thinking like normal interactions with friends and family. Okay, but so have you never been in a situation where you're trying to communicate with one of your friends or one of your family and what you're trying to communicate doesn't come across? That's never happened to you? Lucky you. I mean, that seems to be the 99.9% of the time when I talk to my family. That seems to be how it goes. But, lucky you. I said, I'm retarded. I mean, I'm retired. Courtesy of Wise Investments. Working my ass off and cryptocurrency. Good for you. Good for you. I'm a little bit jealous, but good for you. Good for you. Right. Let's dive back
to touch as they possibly can. That's a nonverbal bridge. Even if I were to be like, oh, let me tell you something, like that slight reach out, tap of the knuckles, tap of the arm. That's a quick saying, I'm going to reach into your intimate zone, but I'm not going into your intimate zone. And really good relationships, really warm people are those, they are bridging all the time. They walk by you, they touch your shoulder. They say, how's it going? Hey, I was thinking about you. They're constantly doing these very small bridges, and that might not be actual a physical touch. It could even be the look of a touch. Like one thing that I teach my students who are uncomfortable with touch is you can even touch without touching. That sounds really weird, but like,
yikes. Yeah, you know what, Box said, I wish I bought when they were $10. Everybody says this. Oh, I wish I got in earlier. But you know what happened to all the people who got in when it was $10? They sold it when it was $100. To think that you would reasonably know, like, no, wait, this is gonna 1,000x. You just that we don't. Nobody has that level of discipline. You would have sold it by now. So you got in when you got in. It's going up now. Just be happy. Oh no, the wallet key. You need the key. The keys to freedom. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially like just the fact that they named Doge is going to keep cryptocurrency and Doge in and of itself a lot more relevant. And then the fact that Bitcoin is, legit and has has actual value. I don't see it going down anytime soon. And it might, obviously it's going to have ebbs and flows. It's going to dip. But I mean, I don't necessarily like it. Before this, it was down at like 20. I don't expect to see us go below 50, maybe ever again. Also, you're like 10 or 11 years old and you got plenty of time. Yep. It's no. Hey, my birthday's on Thanksgiving, so I'm 12 now. Yeah. Stick with the big stuff. Don't unless you get in early. Don't go into meme coins because you're gonna get rug pulled. Shout out to Matthew King. Welcome to the party. Yeah, the best time was to get in before. The second best time to get in is now. That's it. You already missed the boat on making money from where it is. That's already happened. It is going to. This is not financial advice. I do not have any type of credentials or anything, but it is going to keep going up. So, are you going to be able to get the same type of return that somebody who's been holding for the last 10 years? No, but that doesn't mean that you can't make bank. I think the more people that get in, the better it is for everybody else who's in, and the more people who get in, the better it is for the notion of having Bitcoin next to the dollar. I think that's all good stuff. Again, just my personal opinion. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. But so there's only so many that can be made, and then we just keep dividing them. Yep, only 21 million will ever be made. So inflation is theoretically impossible.
Thing that I teach my students who are uncomfortable with touch is you can even touch without touching. That sounds really weird, but like put your arm closer to me so I can demo it for you. So let's pretend that we're at dinner. I could be like, oh my gosh, really?
Okay, so you didn't touch me.
I didn't touch.
Okay, little toes, yeah. So you definitely don't need any help talking to girls on dates, right?
Above my hand.
But it did the same thing.
Yeah.
Not quite oxytocin.
No, but it kind of did.
Yeah, but kind of you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
She's trying to close the intimacy of the distance. So nonverbal bridges, trying to reach into someone's space very briefly and come back, trying to lean into someone's space very briefly. This is why giving people things or serving people is such a warm thing. You hand someone a drink, like you come to my office, I offer you hot chocolate, I offer you tacos.
I mean, it's not one or the other. I wish I had some silver and gold right now. I don't have anything but Bitcoin. Well, I mean, anything but crypto. But I wish I had some silver and gold.
I want to break the social scripts. I want to give you something different. And I'm looking for reasons to serve you.
You give people tacos at your office.
Yeah.
I'm not the one claiming I have nothing to learn, dude.
I'm in Austin, Texas.
I'm the one sitting here listening to this woman talk about how to interact with people.
Strange.
You would like it. You would like it. If you were hungry,
I would like
you'd be
it.
like, give me that taco.
I would like it, but
give me that taco.
I don't know if that's office food, but
you're right. I don't have a wife in my 30s. So when someone is talking about how to better communicate with people, I listen.
I would like
You'd be
it.
like, give me that taco.
I would like it, but
give me that taco.
I don't know if that's office food, but each to their own. So hugging and stuff like that, there's this thing that people talk a lot about, which is awkward hugging. And sometimes you hug someone and you just feel like, oh God, they didn't like that. I didn't like that. That was bad for both of us.
Yeah, horrible. Can we address?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that's like, I should probably do that. And then it never gets done. Like, if I don't know. I wish I had silver. I wish I had gold. I do have the crypto, but it just, taking charge of your life and doing the things that you're supposed to do.
Someone and you just feel like, oh God, they didn't like that. I didn't like that. That was bad for both of us.
Yeah.
I got my Bitcoin, bro. I got my Bitcoin. It's almost like if you're listening to something that's not immediately going to help you in the moment that you're listening to it, we haven't even finished it. Oh my God, that's a fucking retarded thing to say.
Horrible. Can we address the hug issue?
Please.
Okay. You need to signal what kind of greeting you want from the moment someone first sees you. You can stop awkward greetings from happening with simple nonverbal cues. Here's what they are. You want a handshake? So good to see you.
None of us can.
I want you to be doing this from 10 feet away. So good to see you.
Oh, come in with it.
Yeah, you're literally
far.
signaling to someone, oh, so good to see you,
Okay.
right? This immediately signals their brain, don't try to give me an awkward hug. Don't side hug me. Don't hug me. We're handshaking.
As we are almost at the 2.5-hour mark, if you would like to keep the party raging, you know how to do it.
It is a very clear way to be like, it's called blading. So we angle our body a little bit forward and we put one hand out. You know I'm coming in for a handshake. If you want a hug and you're a hugger, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you.
Okay, arms out.
Arms out. And that's also going to prevent the
Okay.
awkward side hug. The worst thing you can do is like this.
Which is a kind of
One arm up. People are like, ooh, do I shake it? Do I?
I disagree, because I feel like depending on the crowd, like this is definitely a super white take that you want to do this. So you I'm gonna back this up because I want to. Damn, did we miss that already?
Please.
Yeah. I'm in Austin, Texas.
Strange.
That taco.
I don't know if that's office food, but each about which is awkward hugging. And
Oh.
sometimes you hug.
Address the hug issue.
Please.
Okay. And stop awkward greeting. I want simple nonverbal cues. Here's what they are. You want a handshake? So good to see you.
See, I don't know, like especially if you're in. Again, we're talking about if you're around men, then you're not necessarily going to want to do that. You are going to want to have this motion where your hand is like that because you're going to do that. You do the grab around and good to see you. So I mean, guys, yes, obviously there's certain things here that are not going to necessarily be the most appropriate for men, but that's why we're here to talk. I don't know. I mean, in a business setting, absolutely. But if you are, hanging out with your boys, right, and you go, hey man, nice to meet you, like, you want to do that, something very laid back, or the when people try to fist bump and they have their arms super extended, like that's like, okay, bro. Like, so you almost want to come from here and then dab like that, It's a little awkward. Bob said a good handshake can make people overlook a white V-neck T-shirt and blue jeans sometimes. Well, there you go. There you go. All right, well, if you already know, then you already know. I don't know why you have to. Maybe if you're smarter than everybody here, that's cool. But like, other people are enjoying it. I don't know. Again, I don't know if you realize how you're coming off, but nobody's asking you to be here and asking for your opinion. People are here for my opinion. But I said I did a left-handed dap at work yesterday. My right was full. Well, and that's the good thing about dapping up, is that it doesn't have to be the right hand. But yeah, exactly. Telegraphing too much is awkward. So I'm gonna disagree with her a little bit here. It's almost like I'm sitting for her, right?
Greetings from happening with simple nonverbal cues. Here's what they are. You want a handshake? So good to see you. I want you to be doing this from 10 feet away. So good to see you.
Oh, come in with it.
Yeah, you're literally
far.
signaling to someone, oh, so good to see you,
Okay.
right? This immediately signals their brain, don't try to give me an awkward hug. Don't side hug me. Don't hug me. We're handshaking.
You're just getting defensive that you're saying things I disagree with. You said a thing, and then I disagree with the thing, and then you get mad. Like, it's not my fault that I disagree with what you say. Say better things.
It is a very clear way to be like, it's called blading. So we angle our body a little bit forward and we put one hand out. You know I'm coming in for a handshake. If you want a hug and you're a hugger, it's so good to see you. It's so good to see you.
Okay, arms out.
Arms out. And that's also going to prevent the awkward side hug. The worst thing you can do is like this.
Which is a kind of
one arm up. People are like, ooh, do I shake it? Do I side hug? Are we gonna hug? Are we gonna high five? Are we gonna?
Okay, so if you're in the territory where it's like the person is not sure what you're trying to do, then I definitely agree. I definitely agree that if you're getting into the situation where, like, again, where maybe men don't hug each other, but men hug women. If you're gonna talk to a woman, then you definitely don't want to be awkward.
Fist bump. If you want a fist bump, you're coming in with a fist bump.
Should I be a hugger? Because I don't. It always at context dependent.
See, again, that was too much. That was too much.
Fist bump. You're coming.
That's too much. That's too much. even again, you want to, we want to be coming together. Not you. I'm here already. Bump me, bro.
With a fist bump from
Should I
very
be
far
a
away.
hugger? Because I don't, or is it context dependent?
I do not like hugging people when I first meet them. I was pitching a TV show.
Yeah, with men, again, that's where, again, instead of doing that, now you have your hand out like that, and it's very clear that you're going to go in for the bro hug, where you have your hand between you, and you do the pat on the back, and now you're not hugging, but it's more intimate than just not, I don't know.
About recovering awkward people. I had a very big network, and I walk into the pitch room, and at that point, I was a hugger. Or I thought I should hug because that was one of the things in LA. LA people are huggers and cheek kissers a lot. And so I was like, I walk into the room and I say, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you. I'm a hugger."
Oh, yeah.
And the exec goes, "I'm not."
Oh.
Just cringe.
Oh, God.
I died inside. And you know what? That pitch went terribly. Do I have a TV show called Recovering Awkward Person? No, I don't. That's because I think I hugged him. And I went forward with it.
Too much warmth.
Wait, after he told you that he wasn't a hugger, and then you hugged him. Did I get that right?
Cheek kissers a lot. And so I was like, I walk into the room and I say, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you. I'm a hugger."
Oh, yeah.
And the exec goes, "I'm not."
Oh. Then why did you go and hug him?
Just cringe.
Oh, God.
I died inside. And you know what? That pitch went terribly. Do I have a TV show called Recovering Awkward Person? No, I don't. That's because I think I hugged him. And I went forward with it.
Too much warmth. Not enough competence.
Hey, yo, low-key SA, bro. You can't be doing that. Explicit, enthusiastic consent is all that all that counts. No, probably because she hugged him, but listening's not for everyone. All right, guys. It's time for the after party, guys. If you are not a member, make sure you join up, guys. We are gonna be partying all night, and Fridays get a little weird. So come on through. Thank you so very much, guys, for all the donations. You came through so fucking hard. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Big shout out to the sponsor of our stream, a man of his word, Box, aka Box News. Thank you. So, wait, the poll. Yeah, what's the poll? Yeah, most of you don't have LinkedIn. Yeah, I figured. Wah. But yes, thank you, guys. Oh, look at it. Just look at it. Amazing. We had Funk with another $10. We had Nick with the 2. And of course, we had Box News. Guys, thank you so very, very much. We almost hit $100 tonight. Thank you so very, very much for supporting everything that we're doing here. I know that clearly a lot of people don't get it. They think they get it, and then they get into it, and they're like, oh, it's not about just sucking my own asshole. And the fact that you guys are still coming through and still being part of the party, I really, really, really do appreciate it. Thank you once again. This is Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace.